Hey y'all, turning great ideas into reality with a brand new website, all from Squarespace. We talk about them all of the time because they make it so easy to launch your passion project, whether you are showcasing something you've been working hard on, you're trying to sell some goods, or, just be a fancy girl with your own slice of internet. They've got beautiful templates and the ability to customize pretty much everything, and you can easily do it and make an gorgeous website all by yourself. And if you get stuck or confused or you're just tired, they have a 24/7 award-winning customer support that is always there to help you. So head to squarespace.com/READ for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code READ to save 10% off of your first purchase of a website or domain. Now let's move on.
Hey y'all, today's episode is also brought to you by Talkspace, the online therapy company that we talk about all the time. They let you message a licensed therapist from anywhere and at any time. That means you can improve your mental health even if you've had trouble making time for it in the past, which is very real. They have an excellent app that you can download on your phone, or you can just go straight to the website on your computer, but you can get something off your chest whenever you need to. Talk about the everyday challenges at work or at home. You can always dive deeper if you get that comfortable with your therapist, but to match and get started with the perfect therapist for you for a fraction of the price of traditional therapy, head on over to Talkspace.com/read and use code READ to get $45 off your first month. That's Talkspace.com/READ. Do something for your mental health. It matters so much. Let's start the show. All right, it is my week for quotes. Are you ready?
Sure.
This is a movie.
Okay.
A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it. 1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe.
Oh my God, I have seen this fucking movie.
You definitely have.
Oh, fucking hell. People are dumb. Oh my God, I know this. It's that last line that is so familiar. Sure.
Okay. There's always an Arquillian battle cruiser, or a Carillion death ray, or an intergalactic plague that is about to wipe out all life on this miserable little planet. And the only way these people can get on with their happy lives is that they do not know about it.
Oh my God! Fuck! Fuck!
Would you like another one?
Yes! I've watched this movie. Not only have I seen this movie, I've watched this movie several fucking times.
Yeah, you have. May I ask why you felt little Tiffany deserved to die? You're so mad. You're going to be so pissed when you figure it out.
Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Is it the first Men in Black?
It is.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
I watched it yesterday and I just knew I had to do it today.
I was literally going to walk out if I didn't get this. I was dying. I know that I've seen that so many times. And that was Tommy Lee Jones, who I feel like those were all his lines.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes, I think so.
Oh my God. Thank you, Jesus.
It's so, who hasn't seen that movie 500 fucking times?
I was like, this is so familiar. Yeah. I feel like I haven't watched it in a minute, but I've seen this a bunch of times.
Right, exactly.
Woo, well, amen. I was okay with getting it wrong if I didn't recognize the quote.
You got there. That's what matters.
Well, amen. Thank you. Welcome back to another episode of The Read, guys. I am Principal William Baines Pimpale.
And I am...
Wow, you have no idea what that was.
Not at all. I am taken aback because I have no clue who that is.
Oh my God.
I am John Legend. Shit.
Black Excellence.
Yes. I had a feeling he might be. This is The Read. Wait, no, before we talk about Black Excellence, what the fuck is that you just said?
He's also Black Excellence because he's a character that Kenan Thompson played on All That many of the years ago.
Oh, one of the characters. Got it.
Yes.
Oh, of course. Wow, that is so obscure. You're
going to be mad when a whole bunch of people are questioning why you didn't understand
I will
that, though.
mute
You'll
however
blame
that's
age.
spelled. I will find a way.
You know what? People probably don't even know how to spell that, to be honest with you.
I don't recall this character, but fine.
Kenan won an Emmy for Outstanding Original Music and Lyrics.
Right.
For Saturday Night Live. It was like a musical sketch that they did called Comeback Barack. I think him, Chris Redd, and I think Chance the Rapper.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, I just wanted to give Kenan a shout out because you've been, as Dustin says, you've done a lot for television.
Facts.
For a long time.
Yep.
So put that high on top of your man. So
amen.
Also, as you mentioned, John Legend.
Facts.
EGOT.
Yes.
Officially. Mm-hmm. It is decided.
Yes.
He also won an Emmy for the televised adaptation of Jesus Christ Superstar, which is an opera or musical from like 1970.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even know.
Yeah, it is. Well, I had never seen it. The name alone, I think my mama said was blasphemous. So we just never did. I never knew anything about it.
But I'm super late because I'm sure the last Broadway revival that they did, that's what I thought it was like the first of its kind. I didn't realize it was old.
Oh, yeah, no, it's very old.
But I'm very out of touch when it comes to theater.
Yeah, I never saw it until John Legend did it. And I was just sitting there the whole time like, what am I looking at? And not really feeling it, but still being like, go Black man.
Yeah. Don't y'all?
Yeah, that's pretty much how
it's just how they are.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to you, John Legend, the first Black man and the youngest person ever in life to win an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. He's got several at the Grammys because he posted a photo of his, award shelving.
Right.
And I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I mean, I feel like a few of them are probably missing. Luna probably hasn't tossed around with her things somewhere. Oh, yeah. I'm just like, oh, what? It's not.
You don't put allergies
Everybody
in
don't have one.
Right.
These, I don't get it.
So congratulations, John, for being amazing. Also, keeping it with the Emmy discussions. If there was a guest acting award at the Emmy, a Black person won it this year.
Yes.
So, Tiffany Haddish won for Saturday Night Live. Samira, your ex Wiley, won for The Handmaid's Tale.
That hurts. Thank you. That you really just gonna bring up my relationship like that. Wow. What a friend.
Ron Cephas Jones won for This Is Us.
As he deserves.
A veteran acting badass.
My God. Ron Cephas does that. Well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I was going to say, it's not really a spoiler. If you don't know what happened, then you're very behind.
I mean, it's just what we're doing.
So behind,
yeah,
right.
Catch up.
So, but anyway, he very, very much deserved that.
And
Cat Williams.
Cat Williams
the
for Alligator Man.
Which we knew. I feel like everybody saw that episode and was like, there goes an Emmy. It was that fucking good.
It was really good.
It was
really
hilarious.
good. I'm so glad you won that.
You have to see that episode. It's just so Cat Williams. You can absolutely, if you've ever been to the Black country, you have seen that nigga.
Yeah.
In Oklahoma, he has horses.
Yeah.
But, so I understand geographically things differ, but
I will never forget
that nigga.
Niggas ride their horses down the highway.
Niggas do ride their horses down the side of the highway. Yes, they sure do.
So just to take it out for a ride?
I mean, why not? Really?
I mean, yeah, I feel like that's healthy for both people.
But people who I'm not going to say Tulsa or Oklahoma City, certainly not on main busy highways, but highways that cut through the country, bitch, you might as well get ready. But you stay ready anyway, because you never know when a deer or something is going to pop up and fuck your car up. Anyway, what are we talking about?
Niggas winning great things.
Yes.
Also, last but not least, I would like to say Black excellence, Naomi Osaka.
Yes.
The first Japanese and
my girl.
Haitian.
You all are forgetting that part.
She reminds you all of the time, though, so what's the problem?
I mean, I get that she can only rep one country, but the girl's clearly biracial, and let's acknowledge the Black.
Like, she can rep one country in the game, But like out of her
Right.
mouth in her life, she clearly reps both.
Right.
And I've seen pictures of her from her like when she was a toddler, and her mama was
Me
wearing
too.
the bubble coats.
Oh yeah, her mama was
fitteds.
of the culture. Okay?
Yeah,
Her
okay.
mama was Kimura out
Don't
here.
get it twisted.
And she had them babies' hair did.
Duh.
The Let's
Ned.
Jam is smoothed all over them parts.
Don't you
bitch.
be confused. That's what you don't
You
do.
will never take Naomi's blackness away from her. Yes.
So congratulations to you for winning your first U.S. Open. It
My
sucks,
goodness.
and it is incredibly unfortunate that your win had to be sullied by dumbasses, but we will get to that later.
Certainly will.
Also, Serena Williams. I mean,
You
black
already
excellence.
know.
I mean,
You already
girl,
know.
regard
Please. I mean,
less. Regard more.
Black excellence for the photo afterwards of her and Alexis just kicked back in Alexis's face, honestly saying everything. Alexis Jr., I mean.
Just thinking
Olympia.
about it cracks me up. I was
That
just looking at that
photo.
picture earlier today.
Olympia was just like, so,
She really was looking at the camera like, y'all gonna get enough of trying my mama.
like, we all know what it is. Like, really?
Under
Right.
their Moana
Just-
blanket. I just live.
Oh, what a queen.
All right. So congratulations to awesome black people doing
All
awesome
of
black
those
things.
blacks, yes, y'all did that.
I don't know why for a second ago I was just thinking about on the way down here I was watching like a whole bunch of shit on my Explore page because I hate myself. But one of the things I saw was
You know not to go on your Explore page.
one of the things I saw was Wiz Khalifa brushing his son's hair, which
Okay.
first of all, I'm Bash Hive. Like I
Right, I
stand
know
for the
you are.
Bash.
I know you
He's
do.
just exemplary.
He's so smart.
And then like 2 minutes later, I saw like a billboard, or not a billboard, but you know them signs in the phone booths
Oh, yeah.
that said, take time to be a dad today. And I busted out laughing. Not because of the connection. Like the video that of
okay.
him brushing his hair and talking to his son was completely amazing. And he is, seems like an awesome dad.
Yeah, he does.
But what cracked me up was that I saw that almost right afterwards, and that there is a sign reminding you niggas to take care of your motherfucking kid.
Oh my God, I have seen that sign and never made that connection.
It's like what?
You never see, take the time out to
Be
really
a mom
mother your
today.
child today. Like, it's just
Yay.
assumed that a mother will do that.
Right.
Every day.
But you niggas need
Hey,
photographed reminder.
remember that time you reproduced? Go check on that. What? Okay. All right.
Woo! All right. So this week in Hot Tops, the Stinky Cheese Bottom and other fairly stupid tales.
Okay. I don't know this book.
You don't remember that book, The Stinky Cheese Man?
I don't think I ever heard of it.
Oh my God, you're so much older than me, but not. Like,
I
what?
know. It's just these few years between us, it makes a difference.
The Stinky Cheese Man and the true story of the Three Little Pigs. Two of my
Oh,
favorite
I do
children's
love the
books.
true story of the Three Little Pigs.
Lit.
That's so funny.
That was a great book.
Oh, and it's right here. You know what? Let me just go ahead and add to cart. Now, what is
Yeah.
this? I don't know the Stinky
Get
Cheese
your nephew
Man.
that one. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's written by the same person. The Stinky Cheese Man wasn't my fave. The Three Little
Oh,
Pigs
it is
were.
written by the same person. Well, listen, if he wrote the true story of the Three Little Pigs, then I will try the Stinky Cheese.
I think the Stinky Cheese is like a bunch of different little stories, but the
Yeah.
real story, like I remember being a kid and having that book and being like, I knew there was more to this motherfucker.
Yes. I was like, this explains it.
Nobody just blows down 3 fucking houses for nothing.
That book was so good. I remember being changed after I read that. Like, this
Turns out
is
he just wanted to make his
quality
grandmama a
literature.
cake. And they was talking shit. Like, he didn't even intend to do that.
Oh, man. Wow. Well, shout out to this man. I forgot all about that book.
So, all right, where did it begin? First of all,
Oh, no.
there are reports or rumors that Jordan Peele might be producing and possibly directing a remake or reboot of Candyman. It just makes sense, even if it's not true. I could see how niggas would have came up with this rumor after Get Out. Candyman, if you did not know, is a horror movie starring Tony
I know.
Todd, who still creeps me the fuck out. And he plays a murderer, but like a ghost murderer. Like he was the son of a slave and then they killed him because racist.
Right.
And then you say his name 5 times in front of the mirror or something and he comes and kills your ass. I didn't really I have seen small portions of this film because
Okay.
I had the older cousins and uncles that thought it fun to to basically make Candyman the boogeyman of my life.
Yes. Okay.
And not only in their version, he killed you if you said his name 5 times, but he also killed you if you were up after 12. Which basically meant go to bed.
Right. See, some things in hindsight, you'd be like, adults just said that, like, so we would go the fuck to sleep.
What? Exactly.
Because that don't make no damn sense.
Like, what?
When you really think about it, but as a child, you're easily influenced by the adults
I didn't want to die.
You. I mean, I never saw Candyman because I have been scary all my life.
Right.
But I did have one uncle who was kind of worldly, and and so even though my mama had very strict rules, like we couldn't watch nothing that was PG-13 until we were 13. She was like that.
That's reasonable.
Is it? Because, I mean, when everybody else is seeing anyway.
Yeah.
The point is that my uncle exposed us to all that type of shit, like Eazy-E and Gremlins and Chucky and all that shit.
Everybody has that uncle.
Right. Everybody let us have a sip of beer. That uncle.
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
Yes. So I just felt like I got a lot of that context with scary movies and stuff. And I knew even from when everybody else was laughing at Chucky and I like was pissing myself, I was like, yeah, I'm not watching whatever Candyman is.
Yeah, they scarred me with Chucky for life.
Yeah, that's not for me. Like, I was like, so you mean this sweet little doll?
And that was the really disgusting part too. It was like, I remember my uncle being like, come and see this new toy. I'm a baby. I love toys.
Right.
Like, yes.
Right.
Where? Immediately. And it was right in a scene. This was like at home, obviously, too. So Chucky was out. And so the niggas like knew the part to call you. And so it was like when he was still in toy form. And I was like, little white toy, not really for me. It's also too large. No, but thanks. And then it was like, rah, here comes the knife.
Toy, right,
murder.
with a butcher knife.
I was fucked for the rest.
Yeah.
The rest of ever.
Same. I have a very, very similar story.
But my mama cussed him out, so I felt a little bit vindicated because how dare you?
I mean, yeah, if I have nightmares, my mama's going to come back and yell, like, why would you let my child look at that? Or why would you call my baby in here to look at that shit? So, well, you know how she is.
When she comes and wakes me up in the middle of the night.
Guess who we'll be calling together? Uncle Claude.
Yeah.
Let's call him.
Because she got me fucked up. Woo. Well, Jordan Peele.
I mean, good luck. I won't be watching the remake either. I'm sure it'll be scary. So no, thank you.
I'm sure it'll be far scarier than the one that came out in the 80s or 90s or whenever it came out.
I actually really want to watch Get Out again, but I cannot because it legitimately scared me.
I mean, that was terrifying.
So I just can't do it.
That was terrifying for reasons beyond visual horror.
Yeah.
Like the concept was just really scary.
Right. And just being around white people, it just makes you like, oh shit, like, oh, it's real. Like the threat is right there. It's next door.
I don't know. I know like adults who say,
I won't be
when you watch it as an adult, it's not scarier. And then I also know a good portion that are like, they're lying to you. It's still scary as fuck. What are they talking about?
I feel like you have a way higher tolerance than I do.
Oh, I do like scary movies, but there's some shit I just don't fuck with.
Gotcha.
I won't watch any old horror movie, you know? But I mean, does he kill mostly white people? I know it's based in Chicago. So does he like kill niggas or does he kill like a lot of white people?
I don't know if you're going to get black people to see it if he kills a bunch of black people.
Especially today.
Right. Like, we got enough of that.
I don't know. You guys tell me. What did you think of Candyman? Because I just refuse. Even the Final Destination movies, Tony Todd scared me. And I loved those films.
I only watched the first Final Destination, I think.
You watched it?
Right.
Like all of it?
Yeah. I think because I was on like a band trip and they was playing it on the bus.
I loved the concept of that movie, so I just had to see the first one. Great. Kyle was in the second one from Living Single. That one was the best one.
Oh, okay.
The third one was like, okay, and then it went to shit.
All right.
I'm sure they're going to reboot that by the end of next year. You'll hear an announcement.
I mean, I scare real easy, so I'm just real careful about what I go see.
Yeah.
So
you be scared, like when I would play video games in my house and like shoot an enemy and you'd be like, bitch, you don't have nightmares? I'm like,
I would be like, well, it's time for me to go. Y'all finna play that fighting game where people slice each other.
Oh, well, that's genuinely
down the middle.
Horrifying.
Like, I can't look at that shit. Y'all play some terribly graphic video games.
That is genuinely horrifying.
I like suspenseful kind of scary. Like thrillers. Like The Bad Seed, I really love.
Girl, Shut.
I don't want to see graphic violence.
Seed.
I don't want to see niggas getting stabbed. I don't want to see blood. Yeah, if you're going to kill somebody.
Is The Bad Seed like the last movie that you watched that wasn't scary? Like
no, I just saw a commercial for one of the remakes. And so that's why it's on my mind.
They're remaking The Bad Seed.
But I love the original and I love the Macaulay Culkin one.
Wait, the Macaulay Culkin's one? That's not the original?
No, there's a very old one that's in black and white. That bitch was diabolical. Oh, you got to watch that one. That bitch is a cold-blooded killer. You need to look at that one. That is the motherfucking MVP right there. I love that kind of scary. Yeah. I do not like seeing people's guts. No thanks.
But see, like some of the scariest movies I've ever seen aren't like incredibly gory. I am more impressed with scary movies when they scare you without the murders or the deaths or just like making you jump.
Right. And my thing is those images will stay with me and I will have nightmares. That's why I stay away from the gory ones. Because I will just picture that happening to me.
Right.
And wake up 6 times during the night.
Like one of my favorite scary movies is The Strangers, the first one. And is it Liz Tyler? Aerosmith star?
Yeah. Liv.
Yeah. I think Liv you're Tyler. Right. Liv.
Yeah.
There's like a scene where she's in the house by herself and her white husband goes to investigate the noise because of course that's what white people do. Right. And she's like in the kitchen and it's dead quiet and you just see one of the masked killers like step out right behind her, like in the back. That's one of the like dopest frames I've seen probably in the last decade or whenever the fuck that shit came out, because it wasn't like, rah, here I am, bitch. Right. It was just like she's standing there and it's like, oh fuck, wait, the nigga's actually in the house. Right. Like chilling. That kind of stuff I like.
Yes, me too. Exactly same.
Well, Jordan, good luck with that. You know, I could see it being true. I more than likely will not go to see this.
Yeah, no. I really like to Get Out, but I will also likely never see that again.
I will, however, buy a ticket.
Yes, I'm good for that.
And that's it. What else do we have here? Nas wrote a 7-page Instagram thesis about Khalees, putting him on blast. I'm not going to read all of it because I really don't feel like it.
Is this like notes app or is this a caption?
This looks like a caption. It looks like a bunch of Instagram captions.
Okay. All right,
because it's set on each. Okay, it's like split into parts. Part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. I don't know if he posted all of this on Instagram, but in front of each one it says his name in bold, which leads me to believe that this is an Instagram page.
Okay.
Either way, he discusses Khalees. I will just give you a summary, a paraphrased summary.
Great.
Of how it goes. Basically, what he was saying was, why is it so difficult for me to see my son? You're evil and vindictive.
Okay. Let's see here.
You just want money from me. What more is it going to take? You tell my son bad things about me.
Wow.
I only married you because I was very weak at the time and my mama died and I should have known by your song, I hate you so much right now, that I shouldn't have done it, but you were really pretty. You're remarried, and so why do I still have to deal with your fuckery? And throughout most of this, I'm like looking for the part where he says, I didn't beat you up. Like that's just what I'm waiting for, because the rest of the stuff is none of my business. I really don't care.
I'm scrolling through it right now looking for the same thing.
It's towards the end. Okay. He does at one point say, in part 6, everything was
oh my God, he really did post.
Why wasn't that
6 different Instagram posts? My God.
Everything with her is a plot and a scheme, has no merit, no foundation. I didn't want to speak up because I have a real respect for our women and definitely my son. I do not beat women. I did not beat up my ex-wife. Stop. You got beat up in court. How much money do you want? So, I mean, that's the part that I was looking for. He claims he never beat her up and that she's lying and making things up, and he just wants to see his son, and he doesn't understand why she's making it so difficult. You know, if you really want to see your son and she's preventing you from doing that, then I hope that you guys can figure things out so that this child can have a healthy relationship with both his parents. The rest of your, story about her being fine, but you shouldn't have married her, or, you were abusive to each other and she was very, very mean to you and said very not nice things. And she was mean to everybody you were friends with. Like, all that stuff I don't give a fuck about. Like, y'all haven't been married in so long and I really didn't care about them as a couple when they were married. Like, I like both of them as artists, but I just wasn't like, oh my God, nice and clean. It's kind of like, I
wasn't moved by the whole... I felt like that was more regional.
So most of this just sounds like typical ex-spouse stuff, you putting hands, and even like, this is the thing, right? And this is why I lean more into believing what Khalees is saying, because when she spoke about what he's mad about, keep in mind though, he claims that the reason that he did all of this writing was because someone from Essence maybe contacted him and said that they did an interview with Khalees, or I guess they're getting ready to print another thing with Khalees where she talks about him negatively again. So he's just sick of it.
Offering him the chance to respond.
I don't know. He didn't say that. He literally just said at the very beginning, today I got a call from Essence about my ex-wife doing another sad, fictitious story.
Lord. Okay.
So that seems to be what set him over the edge. But when she did that first interview, like, it didn't come off as like, fuck this nigga, he beat me up, he's a scum of the earth and I hate him so much. Like, she was very much like, we were both very abusive to each other. He put hands on me, I put hands on his motherfucking ass.
Yeah, she did say that.
And, we were just not good for each other. And he was drunk all of the time. And et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it didn't really seem to me like she was just playing the victim and blaming him for everything. It seemed like she was talking about the ways in which their relationship was truly toxic and the things that he did to her, but the things that they also did to one another. Right.
Like, both of you probably came into this relationship with your own shit that you really needed to deal with. And you just, that two people coming together in an unhealthy way and then having that manifest in a relationship, it makes sense that y'all would take things out on each other and like treat each other that way if both of y'all had shit you need to deal with. Khalees talking about he was drunk the whole damn time. Like, anybody who has to get drunk every day and act like they can't live without it has an issue with alcohol. Now, maybe you don't want to acknowledge that, but that don't make it any less real. And even now, Khalees is just like,
girl, okay.
I am just so happy to be out of a shitty situation. Like, I'm just so in love and I'm just so happy to be out of that. And I hope everybody who is in abusive, terrible situations can get out. Like, I'm just inclined to believe her because of the details that she's providing and because of the way she's responding to all of this shit. Like, this nigga used 6 different lengthy Instagram comments. If you have not seen them, you were not lying. They are paragraphs.
Like, Instagram was like, no more.
Right. And he had to just take a new post then. Like, God damn it.
So you bring up a good point. Like, why not then just speak to Essence and be like, okay, girl, well, you can print my shit too. Like, why not do that?
Right? Why not do that?
I don't know.
Because you would think that, especially if Essence reached out before this went to print, that it would be like, of course, whatever response he has, they'll print it along with it.
Because most times you'll see like, oh, we reached out to such and such for comment and they didn't respond, or we're waiting to hear back or whatever. Like, so I'm assuming they contacted you because they wanted to get a response from you. And maybe he gave them one before he did all of this. Like, I don't know.
It's possible. But we'll see, I guess.
It's just unfortunate, especially because it's another one of those situations where you care about these niggas or not, that like a kid is. Although, how old is their son?
I don't even know.
Googling, because that nigga must be like getting ready to go to college. When did y'all, create a baby? Y'all haven't been together in years. Oh my God,
am I that old? That baby can't be that old. No way.
Personal life. This baby was born in 2009. Okay.
Oh, okay. So we're not that old. You're not. He's 9 years old. My God. Okay.
I thought that this nigga was like about to be a freshman.
I'm like, I know I'm not that old. Okay.
They got divorced in 2010. It really hasn't been that long. Oh well.
8 years is
I mean, well, yeah, but I thought it was like much longer.
Oh, okay. I see.
Anyways, well,
I mean, like, everything he says that she did is like, not even that I don't believe you, but that Khalees was very open in that she said she hit you too, and that y'all were toxic to each other. Like, this was a bad situation. Almost like Bobby and Whitney. Like, I don't want to say, I don't know, obviously, but just like two people who maybe have their own shit or their own demons, and then they get together and their toxicity just intermingles with each other and creates this fucked up ass environment. Like,
you're exactly right. I don't doubt that Khalees has been difficult or not so nice or whatever in the relationship, but that's because she admitted that. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's said
something
all that.
To owning to it, whereas Nas is just like,
well, I was unfaithful.
You did all this, and then in the very end, but I never hit you. Like, you spent literally 2 sentences out of this whole fucking dissertation on the most serious allegations.
And he never really said he didn't hit her. He said he didn't beat her up.
See, and that's why I completely understand Khalees being like, you know what, girl? God is love. Everything is love. My life is beautiful, and I'm going to continue in my path. Thank God I found the good and goodbye.
If you're being unreasonable about letting this child see his daddy, then that's an issue. You know what I'm saying? But that is what the courts are for.
That's exactly what they're for. Like, whenever fathers complain about not being able to see their sons, I'd be like, okay, so petition the court for joint custody. What's happening?
I mean, but he mentions doing that, but I don't know what happened to
What's the court-ordered child support? If you want more time with your son and she is not willing to just automatically do it, then go to the courts and get it done.
John, I
don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. Like, yes.
And I am thankful every day.
In a perfect world, y'all would be able to co-parent in a healthy way with the best interest of the child at heart. But if y'all are not able to do that, then go to fucking court. I don't want to hear this, she don't let me see my child shit.
But he claims that she got beat up in the courts and that he was awarded joint custody or some shit like that. And it's like, okay, well then.
So then what's the issue?
I genuinely don't understand. Like, not for nothing. I don't, because I've never been through this. I know that this is a common thing I hear all the time about these daddies with money or without money who are like, I just want to see my kid and I can't, and I'm in the court and whatever. So I really don't know the logistics to how all of that works. If she really is keeping you away from your court, away from your court, if she's really keeping you away from your kid and the court is telling her otherwise, then Khalees, get it the fuck together. But
you can tell on her if she's not letting you see your son as much as you're allowed to. You know that, right? Like, that's a violation of a court issued document, an order that she must follow. It's literally an order. Like, you must, nigga. So if that's the case, then you can just snitch and she will get in trouble. Like, it's not adding up. And I can understand when you aren't rich that you are not quick to run to the courts, because obviously there are fees involved with that, especially if you start talking about attorneys and all that. Like, it's expensive either way. I get that, but Nas is a millionaire. So I don't get that. Nope, sure don't. So.
Well, hopefully everything just works out for the best and, easily. And he says that he still respects and has loved her as the mother of his child. So let's hope that respect is on both sides and that you girls can leave one another alone to be happy and positive. And that's night with a K.
Okay, right,
and not
right.
Night like the time of day.
Yes.
Yeah. And the night can be co-parented healthily and happily. But either way, I know Night is eating good because his mama cooks down.
Well, true. I mean, that's irrelevant. She does. And her home is beautiful. I saw some video where she did like a little tour of her house. Like,
Nas bought it.
It's gorgeous. Well, the way it is decorated, her style, her weirdo black girl aesthetic. I just love it so much.
That reminds me, I really want to go to Erykah Badu's house.
Man, let me tell you, problematica favorita.
When she...
Love her so much. Love her so much.
All right. So after a highly publicized and dramatic feud between Drake and Meek Mill, the two rappers have finally put their differences behind them. And they came together during Drake's tour stop in Boston, I believe, recently.
I think so.
Drake posted photos of them together. The caption that says, "This really gave me peace of mind tonight, healing and moving forward, created one of the most electric and gratifying moments of my career. I'm happy that you are home and that we could find our way back to our joint purpose. Cue the Kevin Garnett. Anything is possible." I don't understand what that is. I don't do sports. I don't even know who Kevin Garnett plays for. Kevin Garnett is the nigga I always confused with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is the one you hate, right?
Okay, wow. I mean,
that's the one you hate.
Yes, okay. But Kevin Garnett is certainly not still playing. I'm trying to think of who it was. Was it the Celtics?
Kevin Durant once played for a team that has something to do with Wolves.
Yes, the Timberwolves. He was drafted by the Timberwolves.
I am basically a correspondent.
And he took them to 8 playoff appearances. I'm really not into the NBA. Well, we're not talking about it. I'm not watching the NFL at all this season.
Oh, well, for good reason.
But the NBA, it's just harder for me to get into but he did play for the Celtics. Okay. Anyway, sorry. We're going off topic again.
Oh.
As always.
So Celtics, Boston, Kevin.
Well, I mean, I think this video clip that he's referencing, probably a lot of people have seen it, but I don't know it off the top of my head.
I don't know about straight things.
It's okay. I appreciate. Look how hard you tried. Aww.
Meek Mill's caption just says Meek Mill and Champagne Poppy. We both happy as shit.
Nice.
Such the top and bottom narrative.
I like how you went and found the homosexuality real quick.
And then they went and played ping pong together. So good for them.
I really do like it.
You know, niggas getting past their issues. One nigga had to get locked up for going to realize life is short.
This is silly.
So,
right.
Great.
I enjoyed, we all enjoyed the back-to-back era, but it's over and we're moving on.
This nigga has a scorpion ping pong table.
Of course he does. Right? I'm surprised it don't have that OVO owl on it.
It probably is on the other side. I can't really see. But
he probably does have an owl and just not in that room.
Yeah, just not in that one. One of his other homes or whatever.
Man.
Well, good for y'all.
Yeah.
And Drake also began to follow Chris Brown after Chris followed him. They got to busting it at the club one time over Rihanna's puss.
Right.
And, have seemingly hated one another since.
Wow, bow down.
But, here they are, being friends on social media, which is the realest, truest definition of your life.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah. And the way you feel about things.
Well, you know what? I'm just glad to see growth from both of them. I believe Chris Brown is still not in trouble.
Just ruined it.
I'm just saying,
we have to pray.
Haven't had to say anything about him in a long time. So very proud.
Oh God, he's gonna fuck up. I just know it because we always do this.
No, we said this the last time and he didn't fuck up.
Well.
So
the last few stories I've seen involving Chris Brown has been Chris Brown minding his own business and somebody else doing something dumb to Chris Brown.
Okay. And Chris Brown reacting in a mature way.
Or not reacting at all.
Even better. That usually
best.
is the mature way.
Please.
To not react at all.
Please, sir. Might have some more. So
good job. Oh, I'm proud of all these men. Look at these men showing growth.
Good for y'all.
Yes.
Keeping your do-rags together. And
see?
On the other side of things.
Oh, no.
Other side of the spectrum. Well, first, let's pull over and discuss Mary J. Blige and Faith Evans and how y'all really ran with that. The nigga who made up this. So there was this rumor that Mary J. Blige and Faith Evans were fighting at a Puff Daddy party, which.
Yes, I heard that.
Sounds fake, honestly. But the person who made it up was the moment I saw it was when I believe the Ebb for Prez on Twitter, when that person retweeted it from someone else and said it was a joke. Somebody retweeted his tweet admitting that it wasn't serious.
Oh, God.
And for the remainder of the day, I still saw headlines talking about this. I was like, but nigga.
I did too, but come on, y'all. Did anybody look? Or did y'all just take a couple screenshots and ran to hit publish? Because it just doesn't make sense.
First of all, we're coming together around Mary J. Blige if you put hands on her. But I really don't feel like I feel like Mary J. Blige has ascended into a place
past all that
and an honesty and a knowing thine self to not really just be, busting heads in at somebody's barbecue.
Right.
Like if this were true, I would have to be like, what the fuck did they do to my marriage? You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't.
Right. Because it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't seem like her. And it really doesn't seem like Faith either. Like,
yeah,
why would either one of them?
Faith would probably be too busy fighting Stevie J to be fighting Mary.
See, if somebody texts you Cardi and Nicki Minaj got in a fight, you like, oh, sorry, come in.
Yeah.
But Faith and Mary, no. Okay, no. So I felt immediately that was probably not it, and people were just running with jokes that were being made in the aftermath of this past weekend's, negativities.
Speaking of which,
it has been a time. Are you ready? Do you need to stretch first?
I'm just so tired. Immediately, I just got exhausted.
We're just starting.
So I'm assuming that if you have not heard about this, you just woke up out of a coma. Welcome back. So Nicki Minaj and Cardi B got into I guess it can still be classified as an altercation at a Harper's Bazaar party during New York Fashion Week. Cardi B claims that Miss Nicholas was liking tweets that were judging Cardi and her baby and her mothering abilities. Nicki Minaj claims that is false, but let me just pull up the tweet in question so I can read it.
Okay.
Oh my God, that knot.
Iconic.
That just made me so...
Iconic.
Where is it? Fuck. Okay, so I just... It was like... Somebody basically retweeted... somebody retweeted someone who was talking about Cardi B working with Kodak Black or whatever her relationship with Kodak Black, and Kodak Black being, an abuser. Right. Was like, oh, how could she work with a Kodak Black? It just shows how she feels about, or just shows the type of mother she is, or something like that.
Right.
Basically criticizing her mothering skills because of an affiliation with Kodak Black.
Right.
And that is the tweet that Nicki Minaj allegedly liked and then unliked.
I saw the screenshot.
Okay, so you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
All
I
right.
do. I thought you were giving that to the audience.
Yeah, no, I was looking for it. I thought it was on this page, and it is not, and I'm not going to run through.
Well, no, I would not do that either. But I definitely know what you're talking about.
So, and they bumped into each other at this event. Cardi B, in her red gown, tried to bum rush Nicki for a fight. Of course, Nicki had basically all of the gods of Mount Olympus surrounding her, so that wasn't gonna happen.
Of course.
So, of course, Cardi B, being a crafty chick from the Bronx, did what she could to make it work, which was to remove her shoes and fling them.
Right.
Fling them across the room at Nicki Minaj's head. No word if any of the shoes made contact. I'm assuming none of them did.
I mean, she had a whole army of niggas around her. I really doubt it.
Apologies to whoever ate that shoe. But
maybe the same nigga who put that knot on her head.
I hope so.
Maybe he got hit by the shoe and was like, bitch.
First
I don't know. Who knows?
Let's pull over him.
Okay.
Y'all had a lot of fucking nerve talking about Ra Ali put hands.
Whew.
Was Rashida Ali even there?
Oh, yes. She definitely was. And so I feel like in the clips I saw, I can't call it exactly what Ra Ali was trying to do. I don't know if she thought she was going to be hitting Cardi. I never saw that happen. But I definitely saw her take off, running in that direction. She was one of the ones talking shit. You didn't hear her?
I did not see or hear her the entire time.
Well,
y'all gonna have to point
again,
her out for me.
the lighting in this video is like really bad. So
yeah, like all of them.
The person that people were saying was Raleigh is the one that I'm talking about. But I can't tell you that I looked at it and I could be like, oh yeah, I know her. Because I don't even think I know what Raleigh looked like on a good day in sunlight.
I know that I saw a girl who I thought was her in the clip at first, but then I realized it wasn't her because she was with Cardi. So I don't know who or where.
So maybe not then.
I did not see Rashida Ali in any of the fucking videos that I saw.
Okay.
But what I will say is whether she was there or not, you were never going to get me to believe that she put hands or created that knot on Cardi B's motherfucking hand.
I never even heard that rumor.
It was the first thing that came out. It was that Cardi tried to go fight Nicki and Ra Ali jumped her and fought her for her. I was like, girl, I don't believe that Ra Ali could beat eggs, much less somebody's ass. You know what I'm saying? Not when she stood at fucking Black Ink on Malcolm X Boulevard and had Sky tagging that ass. Not when she went to that Puffy party and pretended that she was going to hug Sky only to then try and attack her and still didn't beat her ass. You are never going to get me to believe that girl beat up anybody.
Okay, then. Well,
so that was strange. Okay. I don't know why y'all did it. I'm just saying, you know what?
I mean, facts are facts, America.
I don't have any evidence that Ra can fight.
I don't understand why Ra would volunteer herself if she can't fight to go fight somebody who so clearly can. Like,
I don't believe Cardi can fight either, to be honest with you.
I absolutely think that bitch can fight. I think had security not been what it was, I think Cardi B absolutely would have mollywopped the shit out of
Well, I do believe that she would have beat Nicki Minaj up. But I feel like Nicki's at the bottom when it comes to fighting. If we're talking about all three of these girls, I don't believe that Nicki Minaj could beat anybody up either.
Oh, well, damn.
So
who can fight?
If it were the two of them, my money would have been on Cardi.
Oh, absolutely.
But I feel like there were several other people who probably would have given it to Cardi's ass. Like, I don't feel like she has hands like that. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I could be wrong. The thing is, I've never genuinely seen any of these women fight. So you can't really, except for Ra. So I don't.
That's true.
I can't really say. I can only go with my gut.
You know what? I think Cardi's energy is what has me convinced.
But anybody can do that. Lots of people out and get beat up all the time.
I mean, anybody can, but you know what? It don't matter.
And that's real embarrassing when somebody's mad loud and run up and then they lose.
I cannot I cannot really stick up for Cardi B because it's only so much that I can be on her side. And I feel the same way about Nicki.
Right.
So it's just like, I mean, at a certain point, I'm just like, you know what? It don't even matter because both of these bitches are like problematic as shit in a bunch of different ways. And however you want to feel about it is fine. We're all entitled to that. I still personally enjoy music from the both of them. But
because you're like a free thinking human being.
Right. But that does not mean that I am a barb or
I'm neither of those. A carb.
I am not
call them
barb
carbs.
or what do they call themselves?
I think Barty Gang.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'm not that either.
I don't know.
No, absolutely not.
I really ignore a lot of those new hive names.
I mean, there is always that. So I don't feel strongly about either one of these bitches. But I felt like when Cardi said, I talked to her twice.
Yeah. And she did. We have photographic evidence of them.
And even at the Met Gala, her face looked like if she wasn't pregnant, it would be a different situation. So when the fact that she had that baby, 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago, I don't even remember when she had COVID.
Yeah, it was a little
months, while. I don't know.
Maybe a month. Maybe.
I don't know. But regardless, I had a feeling, once that uterus was free, she was going to be free as well.
And she has been
not wasted any time.
Just stopping in front of everybody
checking
else.
Names off of her list.
So, let's just be Beatrix Kiddo. And let's just cross off these names as they come.
Yeah.
So Nicki Minaj went on her radio show and look.
I love Queen Radio. Long may it live.
I can literally feel the brain cells explode in my head every second that goes by. So I didn't even listen to all of it. I listened to a bunch of clips. Mm-hmm. So I have the gist of what was said. I read many transcripts, But I was certainly not going. Don't nobody want to hear all that fucking caterwauling and flamethrowers and firecrackers and all that dumb shit. I'm sorry.
I didn't listen to all of it because the only music she plays is Queen. So, it's only so much of that I can tolerate.
Well, she went on there and said many of the things, including that she was mortified because, you know, the upper echelon was there, and I will pull over for that in just a moment.
Great.
She also said that if you put your hands on certain people, you're going to die, and that she's not a bitch from the strip club or a reality show, and that her money is very long, which to me implies that if you would have put hands on me, I would have just had somebody try to kill you, which is like, bitch, John Witherspoon did not give that fucking speech at the end of Friday for you to be talking shit like this. Okay,
right.
First of all. But again, I'll get right back to her. She also said that Cardi has built her entire career off of sympathy and payola.
Yes, she did say that.
Which... if I were Cardi B, I would be selling sympathy and payola bumper stickers, hoodies, caps, Letterman jackets. I would be selling sympathy and payola merch.
It's right there.
What else did she? Oh, she called up a girl that Cardi B said something about her baby or her child that died.
Yeah.
She pulled out the whole roaches and what did she call black girls or dark skinned people? Said
I think it was
roaches and something else. Monkeys.
Oh, well, roaches, she screamed.
Yeah. She lives for roaches and said it's a New York thing.
And really, the way she talks about Cardi is as if Cardi is not black. And I don't understand it. I don't. When she was like, you came into my fucking culture, I'm like, wait, but Cardi's a black girl from the Bronx? What?
Like, just because she has said things that fall underneath the category of colorism doesn't make her less.
She's still black as hell. What? We've all seen like her.
You both Trini.
Natural ass hair and everything, right? Like we've seen that black ass girl.
Her
I just
culture?
don't get that. I did not understand. That really puzzled me.
And on top of that, hip hop was like Jamaicans and Puerto Ricans, I believe. Like the Latinx and black community together are the reason that
absolutely
hip hop came to be what it is in this same city.
Right.
So who's culture? Bitch, what are you talking about?
And just because you may not have the language for it or cannot admit that you are black doesn't mean that you are not black. It just means that you can't articulate it or you don't know it. Or you don't know how to say I'm black, but I'm not black American. I'm black this. Or what, like, people just don't really talk like that, I think, a lot. You're just like, I'm Dominican, like, that's my race.
And aren't taught to speak like it or understand how it works, honestly.
So, I mean, I get it, but it's just real tired at this point because those people are still black. So it's like, I'm not arguing with you.
So, like,
what you share an island with Haiti. Like, don't talk to me. Stop. Don't talk to me. I want to be
totally. So all of that hollering and stuff happened, and Cardi B
it was so good,
basically responded by posting a video of pretty much the entire crowd at a recent On the Run 2 concert singing Bodak Yellow. Also, she posted a list that says the most highest selling albums of 2018 so far. And she's, number 3 on this list? Right behind Drake and Post Malone.
Oh, okay.
Right above Migos and the Black Panther soundtrack.
Oh, okay. Well, year's not over yet, but that's impressive.
So, okay. So 3 things that I feel about this.
Okay.
A. All y'all who were talking about Cardi B being super ghetto and how could she do this at Fashion Week, and oh my God, the white people are watching us, and oh my God, you just do not do that in gowns and at, high fashion events, and oh my God, like many people have already pointed out the fact. First of all, most of y'all who are saying that have never been and never will go to a Fashion Week event, much less one for Harper's Bazaar. Past that, even if you have, then you really shouldn't be speaking, because you should know full well that a good portion of the white people who are at those fashion shows are doing coke, passing out, throwing a...
It is a whole ass mess.
Like, what? What are you talking about? Nobody gives a fuck about the white folk at motherfucking Fashion Week, bitch. So I don't know what the fuck.
Facts.
These weird ass respectability politics that y'all have and you want to throw onto people that you full know are ghetto. Like... What, like, one of her first really popular song, she says, ran down on that bitch twice. Nigga, she only ran up on you once. So your eyes should be wide open. She already told us how she is. The reason she is famous is because she is ghetto and likable.
And means it. She's ghetto for real.
Stands up in her hood.
Yes.
That's what it is. So I don't even, like... Fashion Week could kiss the crux of my ass.
Right.
I don't give. Naomi Campbell herself has probably slapped more bitches in the mouth at Fashion Week than Cardi ever would.
Right. Fashion Week does not impress me as a location. Sorry.
Furthermore,
Nikki acted like they were with international royalty. Like, girl, you are not with the heads of state right now.
Nigga, this is not Prince. Like,
it's rich people in overpriced clothes. What? I mean, and it's fun. Have fun, but it is what it is. Girl, bye.
Like, what? You and Cardi were part of the upper echelon at this motherfucking party.
Right.
Y'all probably got more money on your own than most of the people in that bitch. What are you fucking talking about? Nobody cares.
Girl.
No one cares. Furthermore, you say the wrong thing to the wrong person, and I'll slap you in your mouth at Oprah House. I really don't care. Like, it could be any of the wares. Niggas fight at funerals. What are you talking about?
Well,
Nobody
shit.
is pressed over Fashion Week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So... that was one for me. Y'all got on my nerves with that. Now Cardi. Oh, girl. Cardi, we've discussed this. You need patience. You need patience. You need some discipline. And you have to understand now that you are not simply Cardi from the Bronx anymore. We've talked about this. I really have no faith in you at this point to firmly grasp it.
Nope.
Like Patrick Star.
I'm letting go.
Firmly grasp it! Like, you just have to understand that you're that bitch now. You know what I'm saying? And you have things to lose.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm not talking about your bag or whatever it is that people will talk. Your business will not be affected by you slapping another rapper, throwing a shoe at another rapper.
No, I mean,
Tom
this
Ford.
is very on brand.
Tom Ford lipstick is sold out.
Of course.
The niggas still like the music.
Yeah,
niggas are still streaming the album.
From what I've heard, the Barty Gang, you know, they show up and they don't play.
Well, stands are petty of all kinds.
That's true. So.
More so because regular people, like, you know, two pretty bartenders at a strip club will just sue you for raising your voice, perhaps. Because people know that you have nice things now, and they want to take those things from you because they either want them for themselves or they just don't want you to have them.
Right.
So you have to stand up in the fact that that is just the truth and stop falling for the fuck shit. It's just not fucking worth it. And on top of that, I think that really, like, the reason you really need to move past this is because you never want to fall for trolling, especially from one of your peers. Had I been Cardi B, now, again, I'm not a parent, but I do understand the fire behind wanting to place hands on somebody for questioning or judging or talking down on your child or your motherhood.
Something that has anything to do with your child.
Like, I get it.
Right, I get it.
But at the same time, you have to understand that, like, a lot of times when people are trolling you or antagonizing you, they're expecting, they're hoping, they're praying that you will be perturbed. So had you walked, in my opinion, had Cardi walked into that building or wherever, however, and saw Nicki and been like, hey sis, and like blew her a kiss and winked her eye and kept walking, Onika would have been seething for the remainder of the night.
Yep.
She just don't want to see you happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are doing well. How dare you, you raggedy bitch from Love and Hip Hop who doesn't write her raps, come in here and be compared to Nicki Minaj. She just doesn't see it for you, sis.
Right.
So, like, you have to understand, like, I used to say, fight shade with shade. Like, you have to meet them on that same petty level if you're going to respond at all.
I
like,
agree.
Making sympathy and payola shirts. And, you know,
I want one.
Biker shorts and perhaps a slide for the beach days. Things like that. Cause Nicki is really good at that shit. Like, impressive.
Okay.
How great she is at trolling people or trolling back.
Absolutely. Yes. She is incredibly good.
All this fighting shit is just dumb. Not because it's like, oh my goodness, how dare you fight someone? Like, some people need to have a closed fist touch them in their fucking temple sometimes. I'm not saying that Nicki Minaj should have her ass beat. What I'm saying is I understand that fights are a thing that happen because we're human beings. And for you to act like that's not a thing is foolish. Yes, we should, we should have boundaries and we should have self-control and discipline and all of that stuff. Professionalism, whatever.
Right.
But people are still people. And this girl just got out of the fucking hood. The 6 trainer, one or whichever one of them girls. Okay, so to be expecting her now to just be like, oh no, I'm for this time. She be ready to fight niggas who work at the fucking post office because they made a comment that she don't like. So you really thought that she wasn't going to be ready to fight Nicki Minaj over some shit? Like, excuse me? Nah. What Cardi B needs is an extended vacation.
Okay.
A Capri Sun. Tropical breeze or some other sort of a flavor.
That's
and
nice for everybody.
Some meditation. I do also believe that she needs to leave that nigga alone.
Well,
I think that would probably relieve a lot of stress off her back. And stand up in the fact that, girl, you're blessed. It is what it is. People like you. You're doing well. Don't make it hard for yourself.
Right. And a lot of what you just said, Nicki said on Queen Radio. Like, girl, you out here fighting behind a nigga that's cheating, that's dumb.
I agree with her.
Right, that's true.
But we've been through that.
And this shit, when she said, you have to develop a thicker skin. True, you do. Like, you are it's too easy to agitate Cardi B.
But it's also incredibly easy to agitate Nicki Minaj.
That's true as well. So it was a little bit like, well, Nicki, you could also look in the mirror, girl. And it wouldn't hurt to grow the fuck up and stop antagonizing her. But we'll get to you in a minute. I'm talking to Cardisha right now.
Belle Calise.
Listen, I want to root for you so bad. You have a great story. You put out music that I mostly enjoy. I like your personality, your interviews, your videos, even your commercials are funny. Like, I get the appeal of you. I think you're so cute and so fun. I think you have some ways that you really need to grow. Some of them keep me from like standing for you. Like the casual homophobia or transphobia and I understand you learning, we all are. Yeah. So, I'm extending some grace here.
Yeah, of course.
And some of it is shit that you really need to think about because it's going to affect your life. So like the urge to fight, I understand it. Don't we all? Haven't we all been there?
Every single
Especially
one of us.
Especially a bitch that you've already approached twice. I understand. However, I don't think in these $1,000 gowns was necessarily the smartest idea. I understand your emotions took over and you didn't give a shit. But I would love to see y'all do something like, set up I don't know, an Instagram live and y'all just box, somewhere in a ring somewhere. Like, I would love to see the two of them actually get a chance to fight because I do believe that Cardi is owed and
she's mad. She's tired.
Right.
She's tired.
And you know what? The way Nicki talk about fighting and all this, I want to see her hands. Like, I want to see y'all go at it since both of y'all claim to beat bitches' asses. I want to see it. I want to see it.
I have never heard her explicitly talk about beatings. I mean, I think early in her career, she used to talk about like, oh yeah, my hands used to be like real messed up because I was fighting bitches all the time. And I didn't believe it then. And I was a stan at the time.
See, so I'm just saying, I would love for that to happen. But the bigger point is that you throwing that shoe at somebody Nicki could have hit anybody. And then you stuck in a situation similar to the bartender one where you're going to be sued. Because you caused harm to somebody in a fit of rage, an understandable fit of rage as far as I'm concerned, because I get new mothers and the way they feel about their babies, and then somebody like you who love to fight anyway, I understand it. But girl, like, you have all these things to lose now. Like, you have the money that people will sue you for and take away from you. And if you hurt somebody bad enough, you can go to jail and really fuck your shit up. Like, it's not about, I don't really give a shit about your career or your money. Those are yours. I'm talking about like your ability to be there for your daughter because you got caught up behind some dumb shit.
It's just not worth it.
If you gonna fight, let it be somebody who is worth it. And Nicki Minaj is just mad because you popping and she can't touch you where you are right now. That's it. She's in her feelings about it. And the Barbs can scream all day, but the numbers are still there. And yes, Nicki's album just came out and we'll see and all that other shit. But we're not hearing nothing from Cardi being stressed about, sales or anything. Nicki is the one with all that energy. Nicki's the one cussing out newborns for taking her number one away from her. So I just want Cardi to understand that it's not about, like, that bitch can't be worth it, girl.
It's just not.
And you have to understand that the way your stands are crazy, Nicki's stands are crazy, and they gonna go back and forth bringing shit to y'all all fucking day, and it's just not worth it. Take the high road with that bitch. It's just going to piss her off more. I totally agree. If Cardi all of a sudden is just like, oh, Onika,
right,
kisses, and then just breezes right on by. Like, she's going to be sick to her stomach.
If she was to post like a shady thing about her on Instagram, me as Cardi, I would have liked it. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes when you do that type of shit to people who are like intentionally fucking with you and expecting a negative reaction, when you give them like a fake positive one,
right,
a lot of times they might, act like they're cool because they want to save face. But more often than not, I, with my own eyes and experience, have seen niggas be confused as fuck. Like, wait, what? I thought, what? Wait, why are we not arguing? Like, so, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In a situation like this one with Nicki, just like you said, when you think about where this energy is coming from, you just got to be able to, like, you know what, bitch? You're just mad. Like, you are mad. Mm-hmm. That is what it is.
Yes.
If you were like somebody that I actually knew or had beef with or whatever, or someone else who was just completely dissing me out of nowhere and talking about my fucking kids, then yeah. But knowing how mad you are and knowing that my career is going fine anyway, why even look in your direction?
Right. Like, again, I want you to understand that I understand your rage. I just want you to understand what you really could lose. Because if you so mad that you just throwing shit like that, I mean, I live for the thought of somebody taking their shoes off and chucking their heels.
That shoe to Tarzan heel.
But girl, that's just not, like, anything could have happened. And I just don't want to see that for you. Like, especially behind somebody who is not worth that energy.
I truly don't care anymore, to be honest with you. Like, both of them could go or stay at this point. I don't really care. I think rap as a whole is incredibly weird and boring at this point. But the thing that's really unfortunate about them is that they both make a lot of what is available in rap today interesting. Like, I care to actually hear their music, their features, see what they got on and stuff like that. And there aren't really many other rappers right now that I feel the same way about, much less like give a fuck about what they're talking about in their raps. So it's just dumb. Both of y'all are from New York. Both of y'all ratchet. Both of y'all, like, you grew up a few miles away from each other. You both training. You could have just had this been
a mess.
Had their like relationship been handled differently from the beginning, they would still be in the same position that they're in right now. Because career-wise, where they're at doesn't have anything to do with one or the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, Cardi B's album didn't go fucking number one because we just all hate Nicki Minaj right now. And her album didn't go number two because Cardi B's, like, it's not, has nothing. So that's the thing that kind of blows me even more, because it's like, girl, they're talking about whose bag is going to be fucked up or who's going to end whose career. Nobody is going to affect anybody's work in this situation. So why not leave each other the fuck alone?
Although Cardi did say that behind the scenes, Nicki be trying to stop other girls from getting bags, which is something that everybody else has said as well.
So let's talk about her.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, yes. Oh, and one more thing about Cardi B. Girl, fighting behind a nigga is even dumber than fighting Nicki Minaj.
Again, but my nigga, like, facts, right?
Like,
But again, are we shocked? Why are we trying to treat Cardi B like she's not a girl from the hood with girl from the hood tendencies?
Because we don't want to see a black girl that we recognize in our friends and ourselves in some ways. We don't want to see her end up in jail or something stupid behind dumb shit.
I totally agree.
She really has shit to lose now. She
totally
really
agree.
does.
And I'm hoping that she, you know what I'm saying, will understand a lot of what's going on right now, and she will act accordingly. If that nigga is putting you in positions where you feel like you got to go out and risk your freedom or risk other people's freedom or whatever over him putting his dick other places, go ahead.
Absolutely not.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and leave that nigga right now, or commit to the fact that you are going to continuously be in some drama or some heartache or some frustration, because it's been several of these situations already.
Make an album about him and leave him and take your baby on tour.
Right. Make the Bronx.
It has been done before.
Lemonade. Okay. Make fucking Tahitian treat.
You think bitches not ready for that?
Yeah.
They want Tahitian treat. I want it right now.
Make it right today.
All right, Nicholas.
Whoa.
Where to begin?
I don't even know.
Man.
I just, the thing that's really difficult with me for this one, right, is because you, as the one with tenure.
Yes.
And incredible skill and, all of these accolades.
Right.
Could have approached this whole thing completely differently. I think that you were mad at this bitch from the moment that people started actually taking her seriously as an artist. Trust us, girl. It came as a surprise to all of us that Cardi B all of a sudden came out of nowhere with a song that was good. We were all shocked. But from the moment
believe it.
that Cardi B posted, this was forever ago, but when she posted that video, you remember when she was like, it really sucks when people behind the scenes try to crush your mic and stop your bag. And I used to think, oh my God, I wish I could do a song with her.
Yeah.
And I really wish I could work with her. I look up to her and I respect her. And when those people fuck with you behind the scenes, it just really sucks. We all knew she was talking about Nicki Minaj.
Right.
We all did, at that time. Furthermore, she's either the first, second, or third person to say that you do these things. So kind of inclined to believe her the same way I'm kind of inclined to believe that you liked and then unliked that tweet about Kodak Black or whatever and her motherhood, especially because you just went in, didn't really go in, but you just threw Lady Gaga in front of a fucking bus when people were judging you or criticizing you for working with 6ix9ine.
Right. Which just is even more of, where did you find the nerve to criticize Cardi? That's a thing. Both of you bitches.
It wasn't, I feel to me, it was less of I'm criticizing you for that and trying to liking that tweet because it was oh, well, this bitch did it too and y'all don't got nothing. Right. Because, she is under this impression that everyone in the world hates her and we're all working our hardest to make sure that she no longer has a career.
But the thing is, everybody gets talked. It's Nicki thinks she's not the only one who gets talked about.
You came on to this motherfucking radio show that you are strangely still doing and said a whole bunch of shit about her that we already knew. You know what I'm saying? She got dragged and literally lost fans behind them Roach's comments, as well as the baby comment.
We've
what I'm saying?
All heard this.
There's not anything.
Nicki talking about, we have screenshots. Nope, I really don't think anybody denies that
none of us needed them.
Right.
They have been on Tumblr. No one's shocked.
We know Cardi is problematic. We know it. People are aware.
So what are we doing? Because we also know that you are problematic. And it actually really frustrates me when she tries to do this whole activist shit and talk about race and gender and all of this other stuff, because you do it when it's convenient for you.
That's honestly when I live the most. When she starts turning it into the struggle for all black women, I just be like, yes, Nicki, give me that bullshit. I need it. I love Queen Radio.
Girl, you have been antagonizing this girl. You've been fucking with her. You've been fucking with her. I'm so tired of people looking at black women and the way that they express themselves or in moments where they're upset or enraged, and especially when it is rightful. Mm-hmm. And being you're ghetto and you're a monster, or you know what I'm saying? You don't know how to act. You're just an angry black bitch. And it's well, I feel almost any human being would be incredibly angry in those situations. And when you're also a person like a Cardi B or a Serena Williams who is in a position that most of the people judging her will never be in.
Right.
It's also very strange to me to govern how they should or should not behave or react to certain things. You know what I'm saying? Are you the best athlete in the fucking world? No. Are you someone who has been playing tennis to the best of their motherfucking ability pretty much in their entire motherfucking life and this year alone have had to deal with all of the bullshit that tennis has been throwing at them? No. Absolutely not. Were you playing against Naomi Osaka? Did you have to deal with that fuck shit that was clearly fuck shit? No. So don't tell me who should or should not be breaking rackets or calling people names. Just don't do it, because I am not trying to hear it. I will never know what it feels like to be Serena Williams ever in my life. But me as someone who has anyway.
You're getting into a whole, no, I know, but we're not even, we're still talking about Nicki Minaj.
I just find it very strange.
I love that you just could not hold it back.
It's just it's not even just the baby tweet or whatever. I'm sure that was just the last part for her where she was like, as soon as I see this girl, it's curtains. Like that, you know what I'm saying? Cause even in her iOS press release, she said, I ran up on you once. I ran up on you twice. Both of those times you were copping, please. And we took photographs together. And then you knew it was fake then. I knew it was fake then. And even after that, Cardi was doing interviews when she was pregnant and shit. I think it's the fans, they do this whole thing where they make it a girl, and a lot of it really is that.
Oh, it definitely is.
But she could have been like, that bitch been fucking with me since day black ass one, and I'm sick of her shit. Tell that bitch leave me alone. And she didn't. So to do this whole victimized, I was so embarrassed and I was so mortified and just how could she do this? And you don't behave like that. You went outside laughing, smiling, lifting up your legs so the photographers could see that you still had on both of your shoes. You were so excited this happened because you knew that you could run to Apple Music and flame her, which is exactly what you wanted to happen. You did.
You wouldn't have had none of that had she just not reacted to you.
At all. But she would have ran with something else because of this entire Queen promo. She'd been talking about, I didn't have to strip to get this. I don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? I write all of my raps. Bitches who don't write their raps and talk spicy. I'm so confused. All of this stuff. You liking pictures of the ops when you don't even know them. So why are you acting shocked that when she saw you, it was pressure? I'm just so confused. You've been fucking with this girl. Leave her the fuck alone. She was never really going to have an effect over your career. We like her. People like her. The end. You have to get over it. You just do.
Nicki is like, no, you can only like one, and that one is me.
And crazy thing is
and her fans act the same way. You can't like nobody else.
That is literally the reason for the landscape that we're looking at in terms of women in rap. God. That's exactly the fuck why. And when she was beefing with Lil' Kim back in the Pink Friday days, Kim said on Breakfast Club, she wants to be the only girl out here. That's what it is. And we all looked at Kimberly Denise oh girl, you just so bitter and angry, bitch. You just so mad, girl. Be nice to the bitch. Why are you so pressed? Now here we are, Foxy Brown said, the tables turn. You know,
looks kind of valid in the light, actually.
You could have embraced that girl from the very beginning and never been pressed. Were people going to compare the two of you? Yep.
Of course.
Because that is what happens to literally every woman in rap. It has happened long before you had a career.
Yep.
The only difference is many women from before you have continued to mind their own fucking business and leave that shit in the media or leave that shit to the fans and not act like for whatever reason because somebody else is Cardi B having a #1 album does not make you less talented or ugly or fat or or all of these other things you seem to be concerned with. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden now people think that you can't rap. It's just so dumb. You could have left this girl alone from the very, very, very fucking beginning throughout all of the shit that people were talking about. And y'all will both still literally be in the position that you are in right now. I'm so fucking confused. And I just find I think that Nicki Minaj is under this impression that people are conspiring against her. I know that she is because she talks openly about it, you know, and it's not payola. Payola?
Nicki, Bodak Yellow was everywhere, girl.
It is a good song.
And niggas, they didn't let it die. Bodak, I don't.
Even before she was signed, that ran down on the bitch twice song.
if the bitch beef with me, we gonna be forever.
Again, it has nothing to do with sympathy for what? Feel bad for what? The worst I feel is that she's with that nigga that is cheating on her.
I mean, right.
And I really don't even have too much sympathy involving that.
And blaming because she blaming other women instead of him, from what I can see. So you're right. The sympathy is limited in that whole situation. So I feel like she definitely needs to get her shit together.
But Payola, like, the reason she is so big, and I've said this way before, like, it's surprising. I think it just caught a lot of people off guard that it was like, wait a minute, you mean this Love and Hip Hop girl? Like, this is her? This is a bop. Like, most of us were so shocked that her mixtapes were good.
Yeah.
And then the album, like that Bodak.
Gangsta Bitch Volume 2, that's when I first was like, oh, okay, I like this bitch. But that don't have nothing to do with the way I feel about Nicki Minaj. Nicki is like
oh my God,
a 4-year-old who finds out her mama's pregnant. She's just like, what? A baby in my home to take my attention and my love away? I won't allow it. And when it comes, she don't get no nicer to it. And they have to start watching her because you never know if she gonna try to turn the baby upside down in the crib or some shit. You gotta look at her ass like, didn't I tell you? Like, she's acting like a jealous child who cannot handle the fact that we like this other thing too. It's not taking away if Nicki's album was stellar and every single track was just A1 and everybody was in love with it. That would have been the case regardless of what Cardi B is doing. Like, I just don't understand why Payola had to be brought into it. Like, that makes any sense. Like, she's talking like Cardi is worth more than she is. I just don't get it.
It's just so strange to me, and it has been for such a long time, that you, like, just can't let the girl
let it
be.
Go. Why can't you just let other people breathe? Really? Like, won't show up to award shows if certain people will win?
Believe it.
I do too. I absolutely believe that. Won't do shit if other girls are gonna be there.
And she's not the only artist that does this either, so I don't even know why anybody would have an issue with believing it. Cardi B is one of, like, 8 people who done said the exact same thing about Nicki Minaj, and I believe all of them have been women. That's not even
well, I mean, I guess the way I feel about that depends on what that person did to you, but most of this shit is petty and dumb.
Most of it is.
Right.
And again, this was before Cardi B was really making the moves that she's been making in rap right now, or in music. Mm-hmm. So, girl, you've been had an issue with this girl because she has the nerve to be coming off of this reality show with making music that she don't write, that people still like, and they're comparing them to you.
We still like it.
But we still like, sis, we know that she don't write. And we still like it.
We do.
We knew that she didn't write before that album came out, and we still made it #1. We know that she don't write fucking music, and we still fan. What are you going to do about it besides continue to be pissed? It doesn't. It just blows my mind, and it doesn't take anything away from you. And the quicker that you learn that, and your fans can swallow that shit up and understand that as well, I feel like the better for everyone. Both of these women, to me, are behaving very, like, ungrateful, in my opinion, because you both have good music, you both rich as fuck. You know what I'm saying? You've both made it. Meanwhile, there are other women out here who are just as talented, if not more, who are still working their asses off for people to even listen to their fucking music.
Right. That's true.
So I would be totally okay if Cardi B and Nicki Minaj both magically disappeared for, like, a couple of months. Yeah,
like, both of y'all need a timeout. And honestly, that period of time where Nicki was gone and wasn't on Instagram either, it was nice. I would not mind. It. I mean, I guess, you just put this album out, so you're probably not gonna go nowhere, but
nobody
it
buying
would
it
be
anyway.
Nice. I will say, I've done a lot of publicly expressing my opinions about Nicki's role in this. So I've been agitating the barbs. It's been a lot of fun. So I'll keep this fairly brief. I just want to say that, Nicki, like, it's not that I feel like you are wrong necessarily in this situation, to a certain degree. Just like I don't think Cardi is wrong to a certain degree. Like, if a bitch is really trying to fight me at an event where I'm, like, super dressed up and makeup is done and security is there, then depending on who that bitch is, I'm probably not gonna fight either. Like, I'm not necessarily shaming Nicki for hiding behind security or whatever. Like, that is what it is, right? Especially if it's somebody who you think can beat your ass. I'm just saying it's understandable. Like, I'm not mad at you for that.
I totally get it.
I will say that I think you need to grow up. Like, if you said you have been egging this girl on the internet, like provoking this whole situation to where it got to this point. The fact that she came and talked to you twice and you still did this because you knew it got on her nerves. It's just like, girl, grow up. Really? Grow the fuck up. Who acts like that? It just doesn't make sense. George. Like, bitch, what?
Yeah. She did ask things.
Y'all,
Regina
now
George.
both of y'all are grown, but you are 10 whole ass years older than her.
Damn. I'm sorry, I forgot.
I'm just saying, like, when my little brother was a child and, like, we would get into arguments, my brother, who I am 13 years older than, by the way, and I would go to my mom and be like, Adam did such and such. She would say, Adam is 3 years old. So whatever he did, deal with it. Because he's 3 years old. Nikki, Cardi is 3 years old. What are you doing? You really had somebody call a girl to verify an Instagram comment? What? Are you? She's 3 years old. Also, bringing postpartum depression into this was trash.
Yeah, that was trash.
Postpartum depression is extremely serious.
She said somebody need to give her an intervention, girl. Again, talk about yourself.
She does. First of all, mind the plank in your eye.
Yes.
But furthermore, postpartum depression is very real. It's very serious. From what I can tell, Cardi don't suffer from nothing but bird. She just is a bird. She's just a hood rat, and she loves to fight. Right. And she was like that before she was pregnant, before she had that baby. Like, this is just keeping in line with who she is. I don't think it is postpartum, but if she does have postpartum, it's a serious affliction. It's not something to be joked about or to be made light of on your little radio show. Like,
she don't got no motherfucking postpartum. She just wants to beat your ass.
Right. She don't have to be mentally ill to want to beat your ass. You said something that was an indicator of her parenting, and that pissed her off. Period. So she wants to beat your ass.
And literally, again, that's like over the past few weeks where she's been taking shots and doing interviews and subbing her and stuff like that. So she wants to fight you. Do not be surprised. And also do not be surprised that she just attempted to fight you the first chance she got. Like, right. What?
It makes sense. I just want Nikki to grow up, leave it alone. Because it's, again, you look ridiculous. Recognize that.
Cardi is 3 years old.
And every time.
That is so true.
I would feel so like, wow, I'm really letting a toddler run my emotions.
Because.
What? Let me go do something. Let me go drive and remind myself that I can do that. Fuck that little nigga. Like, what? I have a job. What you mean?
That is so funny and such a great
I'm just saying, like, that's where I feel like Nikki needs to focus her energy on, like, not being worried about these girls, being worried about your music, your tour, your shit. Like, you are the established legendary bitch that you claim to be. So why don't you act like it?
And you also claim to, love and respect women, and, you talk all of this fake feminist shit all of the time. And you literally could have reshaped like the entire landscape of female hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You could be out here standing completely comfortably in what you've done and what you've accomplished while still, shouting out the like Kelly 47s or the Megan Thee Stallions or the whatever. And not for nothing, I know that she has over the past few months gave a lot of the new girl shout outs because she's been criticized for not doing it. So I get that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? When she shouted out Malibu Mitch and like Asian Doll and some other the new girls, but those are girls who have been very clear and open about standing for Nikki prior to that anyway. Right. And she even said once, I don't remember what interview this was, but this was recent. She said, the only reason I still show love to Trina to this day is because she was like the first female rapper that showed me love and said, I want you to be on my album. I was like, first of all, the only reason you show love to this day?
The only reason?
The reason that Trina showed you love and asked you to be on your albums because Trina has never been and never will be a fucking hater. Oh, wow. On top of that, Trina and your boss, Dwayne Carter, great relationship, still have respect and love for one another. So you were never going to do it if you even wanted to. Well. So there's that. But It was like, oh my God, she was like so nice to me and loved me so much. So that's why I show love.
He's very ego driven.
Look at exactly what you said. You could have done the same thing. When Bodak Yellow or that other Forever song or whatever came out, you could have hit that bitch up and been like, I see what you're doing, bitch.
Ooh, let's do a remix.
Let's do a fucking song together. Let's do something together, whatever. And literally never spoke about one another again. And things would be exactly where they are right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Without y'all trying to box at a fucking event. Because whether or not you're nice to each other, fans are still going to be like, this verse ain't got shit on Nicki.
Yes.
This verse ain't got nothing on Cardi. Like, people still have the nerve to compare Beyonce to people.
Well, you know what?
So what are we doing?
I just let y'all have it. Honestly, however you feel is how you feel, but both of y'all need to grow up. Both of y'all are hypocritical at times. Both of y'all make it hard to support you at times. Both of y'all have done great things and can continue to do great things. So I just wish everybody
super unnecessary.
The fucking best. Amen.
How the fuck you gonna let your label mate and your ex nigga just get up on stage and hug it out and go play fucking ping pong and you trying to like holler at bitches and shit like that?
She addressed that on Queen Radio too.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, talked about how she just knew it was weighing heavy on both of them. Like if you really know them, then you know that it was like really affecting them both. And she made sure to say, of course Drake talked to me about it before he did it, but you know, I'm just really happy for the both of them that they did that. So, you know.
Girl, whatever.
Right. That Queen Ray, like I said, she keeps playing her album, which I mostly don't. Like.
Somebody's got to.
But, you know, it's entertaining, but in the holy God, what am I listening to?
I'm so tired.
Type of way.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Like when you're done, you're like, why am I drained?
Oh my God.
Is this still on? That sort of thing.
It's like, your head don't hurt?
But thank you so much for the weekend entertainment, ladies, because I cackled for days. I mean, days.
Let's go back to the preschool golden rule. Keep all your hands, feet, and other
all
objects
to yourselves. Yes.
To yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Leave one another alone. We like both of your music, and both of you can stand up right next to each other or far away from each other in hip hop at the same time.
Hallelujah.
Shocking. Shock of the fucking year. All right, well, that's it. I hope it was adequate. Let's take a break. Hey y'all, audiobooks are a great sidekick for activities like hiking, running, road trips, or not fighting Nicki Minaj. And with the largest selection of audiobooks on the plane, today's sponsor, Audible, lets you fill your summer with more stories that you love and know quite well. Mm-hmm. And as an Audible member, you get a credit every month for any audiobook, regardless of the price. That's right, anyone. Unused credits roll over to the very next month, and everybody loves a rollover. And if you don't like the audiobook you got, you can exchange it, no questions asked. Plus, your books are yours to keep. Go back and re-listen to them at any time, even if you cancel your membership. Better yet, you can switch seamlessly between devices, picking up exactly where you left off, which that's my favorite part. Yes. Whether it's on your phone, through your car, from a tablet, or at home on an Amazon Echo.
Yes, there's nothing better than already having some audiobooks saved and downloaded so that you have something for your commute because MTA is being trash as usual. You can start your 30-day trial and your first audiobook is free at audible.com/theread or text the read to 500-500. That's audible.com/THEREAD or text the read to 500-500. You can do it with audiobooks. Go check them out. Let's move on.
All right, so we're back. It's time for some letters.
It is. Send your questions to asktheread@gmail.com. We have an update from Ray. Ray, if you remember, has a black coworker who's loves to be like, my boyfriend would never let me do that to my hair.
Oh, yes.
Her.
Oh, so I hope nobody got fired.
Right. So she said, thanks for the advice. I ended up sharing my feelings with my coworker, Shaquana, because she called me on a Saturday.
Her name is Shaquana?
Well, that was the fake name she gave.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because she called on Saturday. I answered because I thought it was an emergency, but this fool was going grocery shopping and wanted to chat. Oh,
wait,
no.
Her coworker?
Yes. I'm like, oh no, bitch, we are not friends. What? Absolutely not. You know what? I did have coworkers who were friends, but not chat while you grocery shopping friends. Like, don't call me because you bored and you want something else to do. Like, no.
How do you even grocery shop when you're like, I'm too like ADD for that. I be into what I'm doing so I can leave.
I have a friend who only calls when she's going shopping because she's like, I don't want to browse through clothes by myself. I'm like, what? so being on the phone makes you feel like you have company?
What? I know people do it.
I have heard of this. Yes. Anyway, so Ray said, I took this as the perfect opportunity to express how I felt. Since she called me outside work hours, she apologized and said she will refrain from talking to me about her coon nugget ass boyfriend.
Oh, wow.
And will keep things professional. Thanks again, y'all. Bless, love, Ray.
Well, amen.
I am so glad that worked out, girl, because, you know, trying to get along with coworkers is just such a big part of having a job. And
that can be so stressful.
I mean, it really is, because people just don't.
And you need to be at work so that you can live.
Right. And you can't just go off on everybody because.
Or leave.
I mean, because you need to get paid and be able to come back. And you got kids and health insurance. But coworkers can really fucking take you there.
They can just.
Oh, Lord. So,
and sometimes not even maliciously. Sometimes they're just annoying.
Right. True. Okay. Which is the case with Shaquana.
Right.
I don't. Bitch, these are my birthdays.
I was about to say, I know your name is not Shaquana and you anti-black.
But a little bit. I mean, I feel like she said that the coworker has a stereotypical
Oh, she did
name.
say that.
Right. So she gave her a fake stereotypical name.
Okay.
Right. So, yeah, that does happen, actually. Anyway, glad that ended without y'all having to, fight each other. This question comes from Puerto Rican Jubilee. It's from the...
That is funny. Do you even know who Jubilee is?
Jubilee's a drag queen, right?
What? Actually, there's probably a drag queen named Jubilee. I feel like that's a Jubilee. I was thinking of the X-Men.
It probably is an X-Men reference. I was definitely thinking drag
She could shoot fireworks out of her hands.
Oh, okay. Well, Puerto Rican Jubilee wrote in with a mental health related question.
What race is a Jubilee? I think she's Asian.
What? Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute, what?
Pretty sure Jubilee is an Asian.
How come I've never heard of her?
Because you don't give a fuck about X-Men.
Jubilee superhero.
Girl, you still say Marvel. And Jubilee's not a super seen one these days, but if you watched X-Men in the 90s growing up.
Asian.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she is. Yeah. Jubilation Lee. Oh, that's her name? I'm so late. I didn't realize.
Wow, look at you. And I say Marvel.
Oh, God.
Because LeVar Burton said I can.
Well, you know what? That is
if you don't like
enough.
it, then you can at him about it.
You really can't argue with that.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
So, PR Jubilee says, I've suffered with increasingly horrible anxiety, panic attacks, and depression for the past few months following some unfortunate life events, and I'm in the lowest place I've ever been. I finally decided to see a psychiatrist, and they prescribed me Klonopin and Celexa in small doses temporarily. When I told people about it, I've been met with responses of shock, lots of warnings, lots of, are you sure? Because doctors get paid by Big Pharma, and concern about the Klonopin especially, even from my friends who are pro-mental health. I understand their concern for the risk, but now I also know why people don't disclose mental health medications that they're taking. I want to be open about these things because it helped me fight the stigma to hear someone like Kid Fury say that there is no shame in medicating when we need it. But the responses from my loved ones leave me feeling discouraged and doubtful. Finding relief on the internet is impossible because I just keep reading about how I'm going to have seizures or die or some shit like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, girl, it's the worst stories on the internet. Like, how do I cut through all that bullshit and assure myself that I'm doing the right thing for me? Should I ask for something? Should I stop sharing my truth? Any insight would be amazing. Love you guys so much. Puerto Rican Jubilee.
Okay, Jube. So I don't think that you need to stop sharing your truth. I think you just need to be selective with who you share your truth with.
Unfortunately.
Super unfortunately.
That's really sad.
But I cannot tell you that I haven't experienced the same thing. Close friends and family both, when I have discussed, well, really, to be honest with you, only people in my family I've talked to about this is my mom and dad. So I'm sure my whole family knows now. But when
I was going to say that's enough.
Right. So,
in Black families, that's more than enough.
But yeah, my mother was really concerned, and she brought up all of these, things that she believed to be the case behind or a possibility behind taking medication or even really speaking to a psychiatrist.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing that was really great for me is because my doctor was like, she's very, very descriptive when it comes to medication.
Okay.
You know?
Yep.
Well, really with everything, but she's never been like, okay, we could consider this medicine for these things and, you know, here's a prescription, good luck. She breaks down like every fucking thing about it, like side effects, how long side effects could possibly last if you experience any at all, like the process that we go through to stop medication at some point. Like it's not really just like, oh, you're depressed, here's some pills. That's not how I was treated.
Yeah, no, my doctor didn't do that either.
So like even when my mother was expressing her concerns, I had an answer for damn near everything she said. It was like, well, my doctor already talked about this and that, and this is where you're wrong at. And even discussed like misconceptions behind it. So I felt comfortable behind, you know, the idea of taking medicine because I was given a very detailed explanation as to how it worked. And even like she just gave me Lunesta. But that was because I personally had a session with her while I was talking about my struggle with sleeping and how it's really difficult for me to just go to bed sometimes.
Nigga, have you heard of weighted blankets?
What?
Oh my God. Nigga, I got a weighted blanket off of Amazon, and when I tell you, I be knocked the fuck out.
Weighted blanket?
Yes, it's like this heavy ass blanket, and it makes you feel like you are being like swaddled in a mammy titty while you in bed. I'm not lying to you. You wouldn't think that like it would feel good, but it really does. I'm telling you. Like it may not help, I don't know.
I'm about to order one. So
I had it one night and I knocked out and like woke up in the morning and was like, you know, let me just get back under this blanket. And now I'm asleep for another 2 hours, like that sort of thing.
Yeah, I was tired of waking up in the fucking afternoon. So I was like, what can we do? And she talked through, you know, like possible medications I could try. You know, she's very, very careful about things. And I feel, you know, that's exactly what a doctor is supposed to be doing. Right. And I expressed being uneasy about being medicated like years ago, you know, when I first started seeing her. And most of it was because niggas are just like, girl, what?
Right.
Like depression's not even real.
Right.
Like, what are you talking about? People just want to make money.
Why don't you just pray about it?
Why don't we just hold our hands and just send up a good one?
You're just sad.
Ultimately, you know, though, by the time I started talking to this psychiatrist and we got to the discussion of medication, I really, I mean, it is unfortunate to not have like the support or just the ear and shoulder from, you know, close loved ones in your life when you're discussing these things. But ultimately, I was just like, you know what? At the end of the day, you ain't the one who got to deal with being depressed or anxious or upset or angry for no motherfucking reason every day. I am. And I really don't give a fuck about how you feel about this because it's my decision. It's my choice. And I'm going to try what I feel comfortable with trying so that I can feel better. Right. So I really don't care how you feel about that, especially if you're operating off assumptions that are not only untrue, but also proven. And there's like documents behind all of that stuff being untrue. Like, look at the measles coming back.
Oh my God. Because these people don't want to vaccinate their children no more.
Stop.
All these diseases. It's like, what? Are you kidding? What? What are we doing?
The Black Plague. What? I don't even.
Don't make no sense. Yeah, that's very real. That's super real.
Yeah, it is really real. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate, but if you're a person of color, you ain't even got to be black, to be honest with you. I feel like it's all non-white people have families that are like, what?
Right.
Pills?
The medication, like it's already the whole decision to go on mental health meds can be like so difficult to make for you personally anyway, depending on where you are with acceptance of depression or how long you've been dealing with it and all that. So I understand like the nervousness from family and friends, but also like a lot of that is just people being ignorant about, like you said, about what depression really entails and the fact that, yes, for a lot of people, maybe even most people, there's like a chemical imbalance or something going on in your brain and it can be corrected. You just have to find the right medication and the right dosage. But people are just, I don't know, niggas is just, they act so weird about that shit. Like it just doesn't make any sense. So
I think a lot of niggas are just like, if you can't see it, then, you know, like a lot of people don't believe in certain things that they don't have like if you have chicken pox, you can see them shits. If
I'm just saying.
If you got pink eye, I can notice.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? But when niggas are just like, I'm really depressed, it's so easy, especially with Black people having to, pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps and run around the world twice in order to get basic things. Like, a lot of niggas are just kind of like depressed. Like, what the fuck you guys to be sad about? We all depressed, nigga. We Black. Get your ass up and go to work.
That's almost what it's like. Like, of course you depressed, bitch. We all are. Right. And so the fuck? Like, no, nigga, we can work through our shit and be happier. Like, not saying our place in society is gonna change. Right. But the mental health part of it you don't have to be in a personal hell every day. Nigga. And a lot of
our depression or people's individual depression, Black people, is not just based in race. Right. Like, a lot of racism shit does depress the fuck out of me. Well, yeah. And frustrate the fuck out of me, but we don't
talk about all that as well.
My depression does not revolve simply, around racism alone. Mm-hmm. And also, depression is like a symptom of several different mental disorders. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are different kinds of depression. So, Lord. It's just something that a lot of people don't understand or care to understand, which is worse. But at the end of the day, you got to do what the fuck you got to do for yourself. Nobody pressured me or pushed me into any attempts at being medicated or whatever like that. And in fact, the first time we discussed it, I cried because I felt like something was wrong with me. And I mean, I know that I have issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all do. But I just felt like, wow, like, we're like, this is it. We're talking about this for real, for me.
I am really fucked
up. That's how fucked
dead
up.
Ass, can't deny it.
But now it's just like a thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just striving to do what I can do to feel good and be productive and not let my mind get the best of me or take me to places that I don't want to go. And if you don't understand or respect that, then that ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? Unless my only way of paying for the meds is you. But
right. Which for a lot of people is real.
Right.
So it's just complicated, but ultimately you have to do what is best for you. This is your life. Can't nobody tell you what it's like living in your head and in your body every day. So you have to take care of yourself. Right. And girl, it's so much shit going on in the world. You owe it to yourself to take care of yourself. My therapist asked me recently, whether I was open about the things that have happened to me and struggling with mental health. And I told her that, I do talk about it on the show. Obviously not the details of everything, but that it's something I really think is so important to be open about, because going to therapy and talking to psychiatrists and seeing if there's medication that may work for me and learning self-care practices that actually work. And it's not just like, oh, go get your nails done. Cause it's like, bitch, I mean, yeah, that's fun. But you need to also learn how to encourage yourself and not beat yourself up all the fucking time and shit like that. That has been so huge for me all year long, doing that really hard mental work on myself. It is draining and exhausting to do, but it is so rewarding to start to feel like I may actually wake up and just automatically be happy and not have to talk myself through it or coach myself into leaving the house and all that shit. What?
And it is
people
work.
Wake up and want to get out the bed. Where they do that at? It is very hard.
It is real work.
That's why people don't do it. It's easier to drink it away and eat it away and fuck it away and whatever your unhealthy coping mechanism. It's way easier to do that than to work on yourself. Yeah. But having the tools to do it is so important. So I just want this young woman, struggling with the choice to get on antidepressants to remember that you have to prioritize yourself.
It's not I'm not saying do it or not do it. I'm just saying do what you are comfortable with and what you want to do, and don't let anybody in your life or WebMD talk you out of it.
Girl, and right, that's another thing. Yes, most of us are going to research medications on the internet that our doctor recommends for us. I feel like most people do that in the Google age. Mm-hmm. But you have to remember all those, never take this drug killed all my family, da 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 da. First of all, you can't believe everything you read on the internet. Not everything. But some people are telling the truth on the internet. And those are like extreme cases that you should not let freak you out. If you feel any type of way, any of the dangerous warning signs on any of your medications, which your doctor should go over you with, then, you know, obviously you should report yourself to that doctor or the ER immediately. But like everything else, like, I'm just saying.
Some of those symptoms be like 0.0001 chance.
Right.
And
but
like
it can be scary to be like, you scrolling through the drug and everybody's like, yeah, my heart stopped beating randomly while I was asleep. It's like, wait, what? And then some doctor's like, actually, everybody's heart stops beating while they're asleep. Don't let it stress you out. These fucking smartwatches got everybody like on alert. But anyway, we're moving on.
We're just people. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's it. Trying to figure out life.
And we want the rest of you to be happy too. So let's move on. Our next, oh God.
Patty.
Oh, you want something stank?
I do.
Let me see. I have some starred. Oh Lord. That says gay feelings. I don't know if that's going to be petty.
Who doesn't have gay feelings? Got all of them.
Be there for my ex or nah? Let me open.
There, next.
Oh, I'm finna open that.
Be there for my ex.
Hold on, where did it go? I swear you said nah and then it vanished from the inbox. Where is it? Oh, you ain't shit. Okay, wait.
Be there for your current.
I'm scrolling through it real quick.
If you single, you're your current.
The thing is, no matter what her story is, I feel like we're definitely going to tell her to go mind her own fucking business.
Because the chances are, like, even if he is like a super cool guy, no, if he's like a really good person, then I would be there for him. But if he were a really good person, I don't believe you would be writing us that letter.
Most of y'all are not writing letters about guys who are like legitimately great. Okay, so here's a letter from, well, damn, I feel like I don't see anything super like.
We'll pick whatever.
Is this? I see Benihana in this email, so let's open this.
Oh God.
This is from Layla.
Okay. Hey, Layla. Layla.
I was saying, Layla, and Layla said, let me tell you about how my best friend of almost 20 years ain't shit.
Oh, well.
Back in 2013, we went to Miami for her birthday.
Oh, boy.
Saturday, we went out, but left the club at 11:30 because she didn't like it, and then she left me to go kick it with some rando. See,
why the fuck were y'all at the club at 11:30?
This is why. Y'all left at 11:30, which means you got there at like 10 or something.
Girl, what?
10:30 maybe? That feels really early, right? Especially in Miami? Maybe not. I don't know. Yes. Anyway, Sunday we had fun, but I decided to leave her alone for a little bit because I felt like I wasted my money because we didn't do any of the stuff she said we were going to do. I know y'all are going to say I should have I should have gone off and did my own thing. I tried, but it was a bust because she had my ID. So anyway, we got back cool. See, this is why I'm not supposed to just randomly pick letters from the inbox. Man. So anyway, we got back cool, and fast forward to this year. We turned 30. When her birthday came around, she wanted to go to Maestro's. Do you know what that is? Maestro's?
Nope.
Okay. I feel like maybe that's an Instagram
it's
restaurant.
Not Maestro? There's no E?
M-A-S-T.
No, yeah, I don't know what that is.
Oh my God, are we Mastro's restaurants? Oh, it's fine dining.
Oh, is it?
High-end mini chain.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, okay. You girls are too good for Prime? At that time, I was staying with my sister and saving to move, and I didn't think spending so much on dinner was a smart move. I didn't think it would matter if I went until she called me and got me together for trying to get out of her 30th birthday celebration, so I decided to go instead. What? Fast forward to my birthday. I have my own rent to pay now, and because of that, I didn't want to do much. Benihana is my favorite place, and that's where I wanted to go. Oh. So my best friend texted me and asked if her boyfriend can go. Okay, girl, cool, that's fine. He's going to be the only guy, but whatever. Tell me why an hour later she calls me and said, how mad would you be if I couldn't go tonight? I said, bitch, as mad as you were going to be if I couldn't make it to your birthday dinner. And she went on to say she didn't have the money and some other bullshit I didn't want to. Girl, what? So she didn't go, and my question is, how long should I not speak to her? Because...
She said, how long? Because at the end of the day, I'm not talking to this bitch.
I
And
do not believe I got through this whole email.
So-
and the question is...
I will not speak to her. The end. So how long do you think is too long or short?
Because Mastro's and Benihana are way different in price point, and the fact that she asked if her boyfriend could go, then called and all of a sudden don't have money is stupid. And I feel like no matter her excuse, she should have been there for me like I was for her, or at least been upfront about it so that I could have a better understanding. Love, read her or me for filth if you have to. Oh no, Layla. What?
All right, so let me understand this. Layla's
This
friend.
is why I pre-screen these. This is exactly why. What?
Layla's homegirl wanted to go to Mastro's or Mace, whatever. And homegirl went. And she wanted to have a Benihana function for her shit. I'm assuming their birthdays are right next to one another or whatever.
Something like that. Not too far apart.
And homegirl talked her way out of going.
So much happened.
Layla, this is dumb. This is dumb, Layla.
Yeah.
Go talk to your friend and tell her that you're pissed off at her and why you're completely reasonable or within reason for being upset at homegirl.
Layla, do y'all even like each other? 'Cause I'm not getting the feeling that you do. You know what?
Lots of friends like that.
I think you need to sit down and think about whether you even really like this girl. Or have y'all just been friends for a long time and so y'all friends by default? You need
That
to ask
happens
yourself,
a lot too.
Right. You need to ask yourself what it really is. And if you really do like her and you love her and you want to work this out, then go tell her why you're mad and have a real conversation. And either she gonna apologize and be a real bitch about it or she not. Like,
The end.
Girl, that's it. Now.
That's really the end of the story.
That really is.
There's nothing else. If you like her so much that you want to continue to be in her life and vice versa, then yes, go and have a conversation with her and express to her calmly or as calmly as possible why you are upset with her. If you can see yourself not really giving a fuck about if you ever see this bitch again or if you only hang around her during one or two special occasions in the year, then just go on about your business and be mad.
All right, I'm going to save this other email for next week because we are already at 2 fucking hours with this show. What the hell?
Okay.
So send your questions to asktheread@gmail.com and we'll be back.
Once again, you guys, today's show is being brought to you by Squarespace, where you can launch your passion project online easier than ever. If you're looking to start a brand new business or show off your work, maybe you make art or sculptures or something fun.
Fancy.
Maybe you just want to have a new blog where you're going to talk about, some celebrities or your baby. Or if you want to sell things, whatever it is you want to do on the internet, Squarespace has got the tools for you to create a beautiful template that are created by really dope designers and the ability to customize pretty much everything that someone would see on it with only a few simple clicks. We've done this before. We have both used Squarespace for the websites.
Easy.
And as someone who has, had to try and build a blog or a website using simply Google as a close friend, I can tell you from using this, I was incredibly impressed by how easy it is. They've even got an e-commerce functionality that lets you sell anything online and analytics that help you grow your site in real time. Everything is optimized for mobile right out of the box. And there's nothing to patch or upgrade ever. It couldn't be easier. Buying domains is simple and you'll get the help that you need from Squarespace's 24/7 award-winning customer support. They empower millions of people.
So many of us.
No matter if you're a designer or a lawyer or a graffiti artist or you own a restaurant or gym, you can turn your ideas into a really great space online.
Yes, you can. So head to squarespace.com/read for your free trial. And when you are ready to launch it, use offer code READ to save 10% off your first purchase of a site or domain. That is squarespace.com/READ, offer code READ. Build something beautiful with Squarespace in the Read. And let's move on.
Thanks again to Talkspace for supporting today's podcast. Talkspace is the online therapy company that lets you message a licensed therapist from anywhere at any time. So, Cardi, all you have to do is pull up your computer with an internet connection or use the Talkspace mobile app. It's just so simple and they will listen to everything that Offset did. That means you can improve your mental health even if you've had trouble making time for it in the past, which is real life for many of us grown-ups.
Yes.
Remember that therapy is not just about venting your innermost thoughts or talking about them thoughts or digging into childhood memories. It's also about practical everyday strategies for stress management and living a happier life. And if you are awake or an American, girl, you know all about that.
Right.
Having a therapist simply provides you a designated person for you to talk to who is trained to listen and help you make positive changes. And since your baby daddy ain't doing it, why not have someone at Talkspace do it?
The Talkspace platform has over 2,000 licensed therapists who are experienced in addressing the life challenges we all face. Maybe you just fight at work in the parking lot and not at fancy parties. It doesn't matter. You still fight.
Either way.
To match with a perfect therapist for a fraction of the price of traditional therapy, go to Talkspace.com/read and use code READ to get $45 off your first month. That's READ at Talkspace.com/read. Mental health is so, so important. Take care of yourselves. All right, let's start up the show.
All right, so it's time for the read.
It is.
I just want to say fuck Carlos Ramos.
Of course.
The umpire who was sitting in that fucking chair during the Serena and Naomi match. Let me say this. I don't really know crazy amount about tennis. As you guys know that I'm not the sports girl. I do recognize Serena for being the greatest. And, you know, that's that. But it just so happens that I had woken up and when I got on the social medias, I saw this photograph of this adorable young woman named Naomi Osaka and the story about how she lives for Serena and, you know, just her dream was to play her at the US Open and she's just so excited and smiling ear to ear. And I was like, what? A Haitian Japanese girl about to play Serena? And it's going to start in like 20 minutes?
I heard of Naomi, yeah.
And I was like, all right, so I'm going to watch this. It was literally the first time I'd ever heard of her. So I went to watch the game and had no idea that it was going to turn into a shit show because of a stupid ass man.
Well,
if you hadn't heard, Serena was playing the game. And first, it was an amazing game. Like, I'm sure there have been like greater, more nail biting tennis matches. I don't know.
Probably.
But I was literally like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, you know, so it was like that kind of fun. At one point, Serena's coach, that white man who was sitting up in the audience by Kelly Rowland and them.
Right.
Gave her like a thumbs up. And then he did this other weird motion with his hands that I didn't know what that meant, but he like had both of his thumbs up for like quite a while.
Got you.
He even said, I don't believe she saw me past the thumbs up, which is why she was so upset anyway. Because apparently there's a rule in tennis that everyone breaks, but Serena gets in trouble for, which is that you may not have illegal coaching from the side. So your coach, nobody can be like, oh, hey, girl, do this, say that, da-da-da, be over here, blah, 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 when the match is going on.
Got you.
So you can get fined for that, or penalized, I guess is a better word, during the match, which is what happened. So Serena approached Mr. Carlos.
Woo.
And basically, and here's the thing.
Oh, God.
In watching that moment, I saw a woman who is so tired, but still fighting to be calm and like, you know, respectful and just like it. She went up to the man and basically said, I wasn't being coached. I know that you don't know me or him, so I can understand why you would think that I'm being coached, but I'm not. I have not ever needed to cheat. I would rather cheat. I mean, I would rather lose than cheat to win. Just so you know.
Which, I mean, that was shade. Woo! So
she punched. Now, here's the thing. I knew from there it was about to be a motherfucking issue because one thing that pretty much the whole world hates, more than black people, there's black women speaking up for themselves. She didn't say anything like rude, nasty. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't have a facial expression that seemed nasty. She was telling you, no, nigga, I'm not cheating. I've never needed to cheat. How many of the girls have already told you that I'm the baddest bitch in this shit? So like, cheat for what?
Right.
Plus, I love this girl. So like, why? You know? Anyhow, after that, what was the thing that made her break the racket?
I don't know exactly.
I
didn't even see it live. I don't get tennis.
You don't get tennis?
No, I'm just always on Serena's side in everything.
Well, that makes sense.
But I don't
get Mario tennis.
All right.
I get it. Like, you hit the ball back and forth, and then I could, if I were athletic, probably play a match of tennis and understand how it goes.
Okay. I definitely could not.
Not professional. I'm talking about we at the park and you just want to play me in tennis. If I could even play tennis, which I'm sure I would be garbage at it, but I can follow.
Every time I try, I'm just like, how do you get to where the ball is? What? I'm not good at this fucking game.
Anyway, she and the coach both said, and pretty much like many of the other people, this is the thing that really blew my mind, right? Because I said to someone on Twitter, like, I don't watch tennis that much, and even I understood that this was unfair.
Okay.
And many other people, whether they were correspondents or, you know, her peers or former players, have been like, yes, the coaching thing, pretty much everybody does that. For some reason, it was an issue for Serena. Right. But here we are today. Mm-hmm. So, again, I can't remember. One of y'all reminded me.
I found it. It says, because you know I did not know the tennis words for this. When Naomi Osaka broke for 2-3, after Serena's backhand unforced error, she smashed her racket in anger. That's from the New York Times. I did not know what that means. And that was her second code violation after the coaching warning. So that's when she got the penalty.
Just like, why is
the point penalty?
Why is breaking your racket up? Well, whatever, fine. But when I saw that happened, I was just like, oh no, my girl, she's so upset. You know what I'm saying? Like, after like the drug test shit, and then her wearing a perfectly beautiful and respectful catsuit that was not even just for fashion, but also because of a health condition.
Circulation.
And she still came out here in her skirt and went out, it's fine. It's okay, girl. Fine. Just here to play the game of tennis. And y'all are continuing to fuck with her. So that's what I'm saying about shit like that. Like, you'll never know what it feels like to be in that position and have people like just fuck with you because you know you dope. Or because they know that you're dope. You know? So and nigga, I have broken my things over being mad at me. I have thrown my things. I have broken my own things. I've placed holes in my own wall because I'm mad at something I did or something I did incorrectly or whatever. So having to deal, and then on top of this, you're incredibly famous, like, get off her dick. So she was already upset. And then at one point, she's speaking to the umpire or whatever, and she referred to him as a thief for stealing that, you know, that point or whatever from her. And then, you know, the next thing is like, oh, well, we're just going to snatch a game from you because verbal abuse. What? Verbal abuse?
This fool.
After the match and everything wrapped up, I saw like, there were like two white men that were, I don't know if this was ESPN. I can't remember what sport channel I watched. I couldn't guess. So whatever. Right. But, I saw former players that were like, I've called umpires way worse than that.
Oh yes. This is when white women started speaking up. They were like, oh, that's sexist. They started naming all these white men in tennis. John McEnroe, who I only know because of like Happy Gilmore or whatever movie that Adam Sandler shit.
What?
John McEnroe is like a white tennis legend who was also like a really shitty human being. Like, I don't think he just got in trouble all the time and was constantly in fights and cussing out umpires and all this sort of thing. But Serena calls somebody a thief and is labeled like she issued some sort of violent threat toward this man. Like, it's just that black body and that woman body.
Just
and
that
the fact
all,
that she dominates their little sport. Somebody linked me to an article about this umpire and how he has gotten into it with a bunch of other.
He did it to Venus.
Right. Venus has gotten into it with this man. It's like a whole list of tennis players who are like, this man was unfair and, you know, has like a bias or doesn't penalize equally. You know, across the board.
It was just so clearly biased, like from the very beginning. Right. And it was so unfortunate for so many reasons. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just know that Serena is tired of people in tennis, outside of tennis even, trying the fuck out of her.
Right.
But past that, it's like,
man,
even before like the racket broke or the thief comment, when she just stepped to him and was like, just so you know, like, I've never, like, I don't need to cheat. I'm not cheating.
Right.
That's it. It was like, oh, she's so childish and she doesn't have any form of sportsmanship and, oh, she's always angry and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, how? This motherfucker's accusing her of something that she did not do, not to mention, like, you the baddest athlete out here. You're not going to allow, like she said, you owe me an apology.
Right.
Why would I be okay with someone accusing me of cheating, especially at, like, a match like this? Or ever in my life, when I know I'm not cheating and I've never fucking needed to cheat. Picture Serena Williams needing to cheat to win a game of tennis.
I have to laugh. I just have to.
Of course she was upset about that, but the thing that pissed me off was so many people, almost all white, calling her out of her name or saying that she was like, you know, childish or whatever the fuck, because she was upset by that. And I'm like, how could you, like... Most of y'all could never walk in the shoes that these people are walking in. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know what it feels like to be, you know, famous or a celebrity and have to not only deal with, but like swallow a lot of bullshit that comes from people, because people will call you all kinds of names or lie on you or whatever. And you have to just be like, all right, I'm going to take the high road all of the time. I always talk about Beyonce and people talking about that she didn't give birth to that baby. Or talking about that baby's hair.
Lies, mess.
And she would put a clip of some shady shit right back on the next tour. Or write it in a song and remind you that she's rich and y'all could never try blue. And, you know, it just makes me sad and it makes me tired. But past that, I was also pissed because Naomi wins her first, you know what I'm saying, U.S. Open. And
played incredibly well. Like,
it wasn't even just like, oh, this is just some like poor trash girl who couldn't even play and y'all just stole.
Right.
But she was really incredibly skilled.
Good, right.
So
that's why Serena's like, if I'm gonna lose, just let me lose. Like,
right.
But this bullshit you making up is completely unnecessary.
Why would I even have a problem losing to her? She literally, like, what?
See?
When the look on Naomi's face after that game,
that poor baby,
broke my heart, because it was like, oh my God, I know that face. That's that face up. I want to get the fuck out of here right now and just go talk to my mama about why this day is trash, but I have to stay here because of work.
Right. Damn.
Like, she was so upset. Like, my nigga, because you're uncomfortable with a woman, specifically a black woman, because I'm sure many white tennis players that are women would have gotten away with most of the shit that, you know, they were beating Serena up for. But this black woman had the nerve to already be celebrated as the best and then speak up against a call that you made. It's like, from the moment that she did that, it didn't matter what the fuck she did after that. Right. It was already, oh, well, bitch, you gonna lose. And any opportunity I feel like I get to make sure that happens, I'm gonna. So Serena feels robbed. Naomi probably felt like she didn't earn it for real. You know what I'm saying? You ruined like a huge moment for this 20-year-old amazing tennis player.
Just let it happen. Like, it was already gonna be a good ass match. Like, it just didn't.
Serena had to be the one to go up there and be like, girl, I don't give a fuck about what you talk about me. Let's just clap our hands for this girl right here, because she played the fuck off. I'll play the fuck out of that game, and she deserves it.
She told Ellen, Naomi did, that Serena whispered in her ear, they're not booing you, they're booing that ump, and you should be proud of yourself. Because she was like, yeah, it really upset me to hear a bunch of people booing, and I did think they were booing at me. So when she said that, it made me feel so much better. Right. But it's like, you see how Serena is not like, I absolutely have to win and like fuck everybody else. It's not, she's not Nikki in this situation. It's like, if I'm gonna lose, then let it be, because we both played a good ass game of tennis and I lost. My nigga,
because nobody is trying to come up after me losing to Naomi, anybody, and trying to really with sense say that I'm not the baddest to do this.
Yes, because it don't matter if I'm number 2 this week and somebody else is number 1 this week, because I have been number 1 before and I certainly will again, and my legacy stands strong regardless of one game.
And me in my own skin.
Woo!
I am a gigantic reason that anybody pays attention to any of these motherfucking matches.
Period. What I don't get.
The girls come out and give you money because they want to see me, bitch. Fuck you thought.
Absolutely. When Serena's not playing, ticket sales are low and prices drop. Period. What? I never gave one sliver of a fuck about tennis till the Venus and Serena started playing.
Ever in my life.
Never.
Ever in my life.
Not ever. And they might still be mad that we came and took over their sport like that.
And my sister, when I was like a baby.
With our beads.
My mother's brother, I don't know why I said my sister. My mother's brother, my uncle, loved tennis. And there was a park literally with a huge tennis court, maybe 4 of them. Like, you could see it from in front of my house. Mm-hmm. And so he would take me over there sometimes to be playing tennis, trying to get me to play with him. And I would like, fuck around on the court and like pretend like, oh, this is fun. And then I was terrible. And I was like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm a baby. I like to win. I don't like to lose. But even then, I was just like, this is the thing. My uncle likes to play tennis. We have racks and stuff in the house. But Venus and Serena are,
right.
made it interesting.
That's totally different. Right. They actually had me giving a shit about tennis.
Yeah.
When I never would have otherwise. So, yeah, I think white people are probably still just mad at the fact that...
They're going to be mad at us regardless.
I mean... Because even Naomi, as much as y'all want to focus on the Japanese, is still half black and not ashamed of that at all. And, coming up right behind some, like, just a little junior, just coming right on.
Right. Y'all about to be mad at 2 black girls.
Right. It's like, damn. Y'all thought once Serena was gone, that was going to be it. And it's like, oh, wait, there's more of them?
3. You mad at Venus, too.
Yeah, so sorry not to interrupt you.
Tennis. And that Marcus Knight guy, whatever.
Oh my God, I was just going to talk about that.
Deep throated chainsaw.
If you don't know about the Australian cartoonist, then you probably have at least seen the image that he did of Serena at the US Open. There's a lot of things in it. Serena is crying and jumping up and down on a smashed racket, and he is talking to Naomi Osaka, who weirdly now is like
white?
Super light and has blonde hair. Don't get it. But the umpire is saying, can you just let her win? As if the issue here... Okay, so there's so much about this cartoon.
Yeah.
But first of all, the issue, like Serena said, is not need to win. Right. It's not that I need to win, because I don't want to win bad enough to cheat for it. Again, if she's gonna lose, then let it be, because she got outplayed. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just that. So for you try to make it seem like the umpire was just, up there just doing his job, and here goes big old toddler ass Serena coming through with a childish temper tantrum and ruining what should be a nice, white, wholesome ass match. And here she goes in this body. White people, I don't understand it, but they love to draw strong black women as like oversized as possible. Like, this is not an accurate depiction of what Serena Williams looks like. Not to mention this caricature has this broad, wide nose and these big, the mouth takes up like 50% of the face. Like, it could not be more racist. He even took the time to like put little squiggles in her ponytail. Like, you made sure to emphasize her blackness in a way that would be perceived as negative, when you turned around and did the exact opposite to the other black girl. Like, made her this little diminutive thing with a cute little slick back blonde ponytail. Like, bitch, where? You
would have never known that she was playing a black girl had you only seen that cartoon.
There's a pacifier on the ground. Serena is like crying and stamping her feet in this picture as though that was actually how she reacted. Like, what really happened is that she felt like she was being penalized on some bullshit, and she spoke her mind about it in a way that had pretty much anybody else done, especially a lot of very notable men's players, it would not have been considered an issue. It would not have been these penalties that added up to like $17,000 and the points being taken away and all that. Like, it wouldn't have been none of that. It would have just been a conversation or whatever, or that's just how they act, or boys will be boys, or, emotions in a big match. It would be spun as this thing that happens when you're playing in the US Open. It's just what happens.
Yeah, it's a really passionate game.
It's
training so hard.
You guys. It's so powerful out there. The tension, the electricity in the air. When it's Serena Williams, it's look at that big black bitch over there throwing a fit and verbally harassing
cocky
our umpires who are just there to make sure it's a clean match. And she is just so mad. And the fact that all she did was like defend herself and is turned around and being like characterized as that being childish, or she didn't have the right to do it. And it's like, oh, well, you were just being outplayed, or you were just losing, or you were just breaking the rules, so you should just take it and go. Like, no, all of y'all got my girl fucked up. This man who drew this apparently has a history of drawing cartoons that are trash or that depict men in terrible situations as still being like more rational or not childish and throwing temper tantrums the way he did.
I didn't know he was Australian.
Yeah.
No shade, that explains a lot.
I mean, it does. And the fact that y'all hate Serena for being black and excellent doesn't shock me. So I know she's at home with Olympia, kick back, you know, chilling, and things will be fine. But I just keep coming back to let the bitch play. Like, why? You just don't have to be racist. You just don't have to be sexist. You could just let her be great, and you could just let them play and let that be that. But you couldn't.
It was so fucking like,
y'all really hate Serena Williams, and there's not, but you just can't stop her. You just,
that's the worst part.
You just can't do anything about it.
It was just unfortunate. Like, I was sincerely agitated when that whole thing was done, and I was like, is this what sports fans feel like when their team loses? Or
when I read up on it and watched the video, I was like, are you fucking serious? Like, this is what y'all came at my girl for?
Just because, again, like I said, like it isn't just this game. It's not the first time that people in tennis have shown like clear bias towards Serena or mistreat her simply because she's a black woman and y'all can't beat her. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ridiculous. And then on top of that, you have this young girl who just did an amazing thing. You know what I'm saying? Playing someone that she looks up to so much. Like, she like the difference in the look on her face before that match versus after broke my heart. I just can't. And I would love to fight Carlos, but I'm not going to.
Yeah. Carlos actually can square up and meet me with these hands. But
at any time.
I also wanted to talk about
Let's do it. Bring it on.
Out of Dallas, Texas, we had the story this week of 26-year-old Botham Jean, who was gunned down in his own home by a Dallas police officer who was off duty but in uniform.
This story is fucked.
Her name is Amber Geiger. She's 30 years old. She claims to have come home and found her door ajar and was able to push it open by jamming it with her key.
Oh.
And in the darkness, she saw a shadowy figure and started to yell and told it to not do that.
You lying ass bitch.
So then she just fired off 2 warning shots.
Yeah.
And then realized that she was in the wrong apartment.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's Amber's story. Now, if you thought to yourself, it's a lot of, I feel like you don't even have to poke very hard to find a hole in that. You would be correct. This woman has been on the police force for 4 years. She finished work on Thursday evening, drove home, and then this whole thing happened. Now, people who live in this apartment complex have posted videos online of them walking into their homes. This is not a regular apartment complex as far as I'm concerned. It looks luxury or high end. The keys aren't regular keys. They're them new ass fobby looking things that are probably like magnetically assigned, kind of like a hotel room door.
Oh yeah. Those shits make me nervous.
But the door itself is extremely heavy, and the white woman who was taping herself walked in and was like, let's just see if my door, and it shut before she even really finished the sentence. Like, those doors don't just stay ajar. Furthermore, she was on the entire wrong fucking floor. She lived on the 13th floor. This man lived on the 14th. Do you really expect me to believe that a police officer drove home, parked on the wrong level of the parking garage in her own building, and then turned around and approached the wrong door, forced her way in through a door that was half ajar in a building where that doesn't happen, and then killed a man without even turning on the lights in her own apartment? It's just a lot of things here that don't make sense. Most women who are coming home to an empty apartment at night will leave a light on. because we don't like walking into dark apartments and
that
houses.
Makes sense.
However, it doesn't mean you have to. What it does mean, though, is that when I walk in my door, unlock it, the very first thing I do is hit that light.
Okay.
Do you mean to tell me you walked into your own home and it was dark and you didn't automatically turn on the light to see who that was in your fucking house? Do you really mean to tell me that you didn't notice that bright red ass doormat that would have alerted you to, like, hey bitch, you're on the wrong floor. This isn't your apartment. She did live directly below Mr. Jean. And an attorney for his family was on, I think it was CNN the other day, talking about how somebody who lives in that apartment filed a noise complaint on Botham Jean. And that it was not the first time that they had filed a noise complaint on him. So this woman, what I now believe is that this woman came home and heard him upstairs and got mad and decided she had fucking enough about it. But what the dumb bitch didn't do was think it through first. Because anybody who watches any amount of Snapped could have told you how this was going to go wrong.
Yeah.
Sis, the thing is, I appreciate lies when they're well constructed and well thought out, but this is just an insult to my intelligence.
Yeah.
And we are in an age now where you can't just say whatever the fuck lie and expect it to just float, because social media is all over everything. And when people found out what you said in this police report and in the sworn affidavits for the search warrant and all that, they were like, oh no. Actually, that isn't how anything works in this building. And here's a picture of his front door with the red ass doormat. It just doesn't, nothing about it adds up.
Are the apartment numbers not located on the door?
Not only are they located on the door, they are illuminated. And it's not like every floor is like 1A, 2B, 3. It's like her apartment is like 1348 and his is 1448. It's a different number. But this woman expects us to believe that not only is she like grown and wasn't drunk or high, which again, I'll wait to see the toxicology report on that because I'm not entirely sure that she wasn't fucked up. But sis, you are a 4-year deep employee of the Dallas Police Department. A police officer didn't notice that she was looking at the wrong numbers on the door and the wrong colored doormat. My home has a smell. If I open the door and this doesn't smell like home.
My house, right.
But again, nobody gets home at night and doesn't turn on the goddamn lights.
Especially before shooting inside of their home.
Bitch, you just murdered him. You just fucking murdered him. A man who had a loving and devoted family, who had graduated from school and had what looked like a good job at like a tax and accounting firm. 26-year-old brother who was sending money back home and trying to help out kids and shit like that. And like just somebody who has done everything that white racists tell us we need to do in order to be acceptable black. And what happened? He got murdered in his own nice ass house because not even a rich white woman. Look at his job and your job. Bitch, you ain't got to go to school to be a police officer. I bet it's very few black people in that building and all of them are established professionals like that man was. And you got mad because you could probably hear his music and you're like, I am goddamn tired of 2 Chainz. If I hear any more Titty Boy, I'm going to fucking lose it. I don't know what you was thinking, but you did not think this shit through. So sis, I just want you to know that the rest of us see right through these lies. Hopefully it's just a matter of time before the details come out. I want this charge upgraded from manslaughter to first-degree murder, and I want to see you rot in prison.
Fried, bitch.
Period.
The end.
That's all I have. Fuck her.
What?
And fuck this shitty ass story. Like, girl, I don't want to say if I killed somebody what I would do, but I would hope that I would think it through better than this.
You really expected us to fall for that?
Somebody you just reported for a noise violation earlier that same day?
Now, I have gotten off on the wrong floor before and gone to an apartment that was not mine, but I put the key in. This has only happened to you once. I put the key in, it didn't turn.
Right.
I looked at the door and I was like, oh, this ain't my fucking house.
And then you left.
But even had I opened the door, it would have taken me all but half a second to realize I don't live there.
Even if you had managed to open the door, because again, that doesn't happen.
And my apartment, like many apartments, not all, but many apartments, has a light or switched to the light like immediately
Almost
next to the door.
There are very few homes that don't have a light switch
right
the
there.
Entrance. Because everybody does that. Everybody turns out the lights on the way out and they cut them on when they come home. What? Anybody
it doesn't make
would
sense,
turn the
bitch.
goddamn lights on.
It doesn't fucking make sense.
A police officer chose to shoot instead of turning the lights on. Bitch, you just were irritated and you killed him.
You wanted to kill that nigga. You thought about it. You know what I'm saying?
Not
and you
very
also
hard.
believed that because you're a cop and he is a Negro, that you would have gotten away with it.
That's why you didn't put that effort into it. You were like, I'm a police officer. All I have to say is that I thought it was wrong. Oh, wrong apartment. My bad. No, bitch.
Fry.
For all eternity.
For the rest of your days.
Fuck her.
Before and after life. Before, during, all of it.
The neighbors, the next door neighbor said that she was home all night, heard everything. Witnesses say that they heard pounding on the door and a woman screaming, "Let me in," multiple times.
What else is there?
Right. Because if you went up there to talk, you wouldn't have brought your gun with you. You didn't even bother to take your work uniform off. You went up there to kill him. So arrest this. Well, she's already been arrested. And also she was allowed to bond right out, which I just can't. Anyway, charge this bitch with first degree murder and, convict her. Send her to prison. That's what I need to see happen.
I will not hold my breath, but I mean, it doesn't really get any clearer.
I just want to point out again that it's like, no, even if you are the good black, even if you do the things they tell you to do.
Please come on.
Even if, not involved in a bunch of bullshit, you're not out here hustling, you went to college.
Please.
You got a nice degree, you got a nice job, Price Waterhouse, whatever the fuck, nice,
thank you,
respectable job. Mm-hmm. You got enough money to go live with white folks in a new apartment, okay?
Hello.
In a building where they don't use keys, bitch.
Illuminated.
It's a bunch of magnet
numbers.
and dumb, okay? Illuminated. What, bitch? Okay, you fancy.
Oh my.
You did that shit, nigga. Parking garage attached to the building.
You could park in the building?
You done moved right the fuck on up. And what happened? White people kill you in your own goddamn home.
In your house. In yours, where you paid rent.
Right.
All of that money.
Right.
Your home.
Leaving your family devastated.
Minding your motherfucking business.
Leaving our community missing somebody who was actually giving back and doing something for
So
it.
We don't give a fuck about none of these white people watching us.
Fuck this bitch,
I don't care.
Amber. Fuck her. I know people thought maybe they was fucking and stopped and she got mad. I don't think that's it. I really think it's the noise thing.
I do.
But whatever it is, you know what it's not? I just thought it was my apartment and shoved the door open and then somebody was in and I shot with the lights off.
That lie is so bad.
It's so bad.
You might as well have just said, I killed him because I wanted to.
Right. You'd been like, so did you consult like a 5-year-old for this explanation? Because it don't make no sense. It's hard to believe a grown woman thought we was gonna believe that. So we'll see how the proceedings go, but fuck this bitch.
When you think about all of the cops who have killed black people and all of the fucking bullshit stories that a lot of them have come up with, again, it doesn't surprise me that this fucking story is so terrible because it's like, you really thought that the story would be white person killed black person, well, white cop killed black person, and that you would just be back at home,
for dinner. Yep.
Making your rice-a-roni.
And really you are.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if people in her building are like, she probably has not left her apartment, honestly.
If she's smart, she's staying at her friend or family member's house.
Yeah, if she's smart, she's not even there because I saw his neighbors had put like flowers up and they were all talking about how he was like such a nice guy and all this other stuff. I'm like,
bitch.
You are just trash. Like, even if this is what I was talking about earlier, even if you do live somewhere where it just happens to be loud or whatever, or somebody is playing their music and you have tried to get them to stop and they don't, like, murder is not a reasonable response to that. It just isn't. I don't care how mad you are. I have lived in loud ass neighborhoods before where people partied well into the night and didn't give nan fuck about who had to go to work in the morning.
Me.
And you know what was not appropriate? Going outside and shooting them in the head. Like, it just...
Nobody would have been like, oh, I so get it.
Like,
yeah.
Girl, I understand.
Mood.
Like, no. It just isn't.
Right.
So fuck her. And that's it. I'm done.
Well, guys, thank you for listening to another episode
sitting
of The
through
Read.
all these 2.5 hours. Check us out at thisistheread.com and on social at thisistheread.
If you're in New York, it's September 13th, so get your ass up and go vote.
Yes, get your ass up and go fucking vote. I cannot wait. I'm personally voting for Cynthia Nixon.
Same.
Because, well, like I always say, anybody who takes NTA knows that Andrew Cuomo has got to get the fuck up out of here.
I mean, there's that.
But there's so many other reasons.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, actually.
Yes, and I want to see more progressive people in office, and Cynthia Nixon is the type who says the right things, but also has hired a lot of the right people and acknowledges that, you know, it's not... I know that people have been accused of like using black women as props or like, oh, look at all the black suits. Look at all these black girls around me, and just being like, it's not even just that. I feel like it's great that she acknowledges that people feel that way, but also that she's truly committed to doing the things she talks about doing. When she said that marijuana has been effectively legal for white people for decades and it's time that it's legal for everybody else. I'm like, this is the sort of white ally we need. Like, yes, hire black women and then say, bitch, I hired black women because y'all know what the fuck y'all doing. And too often we tell black people that they decide elections and we need them, and Democrats court the black vote the way they do. But then ultimately y'all get into office and then y'all act like y'all don't give a fuck about us until the next election comes around, and we're tired of saving you. So if I'm going to throw my support behind Cynthia Nixon, which she has, again, hired lots of black girls around her that I support and I think it's a good idea and I like what she's saying, then I expect to see Cynthia Nixon actually act on these things if she's elected, but she got to get through this primary first.
Right.
And I, you know, even as somebody who is a relatively recent New Yorker, I am fed the fuck up. I mean, get the fuck out of here.
Really. And these types of elections are the ones you really, really, really need to be opening your eyes about. And you know what I'm saying? Taking your ass out there. Yeah,
your local ones. Governor matters a lot.
Like a whole bunch. Like a lot. Woo, so you can't really effectively complain about shit being horrible if you don't even really give a fuck to go and try and vote for somebody.
Tickets to our upcoming live shows in Philly, Nashville, Denver, Seattle, and Miami at thereadlive.com. Those are the only cities that we're doing for this fall. We got lots of emails asking if we are going somewhere else in 2018. Nope, that is it.
That's it, sis.
See you in one of those. Do we have anything else before we close it out this week? Damn, I feel like we've been in here forever.
I just want to say this episode is dedicated to all of the people within the culture who want to play spades, but nobody will teach you because niggas are selfish and care more about winning spades than allowing other people to have the experience as well. Okay? This is dedicated to all of my brothers and sisters who have watched spade game after spade game.
Oh my God. Really?
And ask friends and family to put you on game so that you can participate too. You've been to all of the nigga functions and you've looked at it, just looks like such a thrilling and just like a festive time and a good moment.
It really is.
And you just can't play with none of these niggas because they will literally cut your throat open if you're a nigga. And we don't even know what that means. So shout out to you. This is for you.
Oh man.
Love you so much. And my Instagram bio is Wakandan Spades Champion. I don't care.
So, do you play or nah?
I played a lot when I was like in high school and early college some, but I haven't played it maybe since I was like a freshman in college.
Okay.
So I don't remember. And even when I did play it, I played with like few people and not often. So I was like decent at the game.
Right.
But I haven't played it in so many years that I know the very next time I play spades, I'm going to make a mistake or be confused. And then my life will be threatened. And it's just not really worth it.
Well, maybe we'll play on my birthday. That's a relatively safe space.
You are the last one to,
you were going to
like,
do this to me.
Bitch,
and
nobody.
I really want you to consider what you're saying right now and who you are. I want you to do that. No. Fix your face.
Fine. Yes, I have thrown tantrums over card games.
Yes, you have.
Games of all kinds.
Yes, you have tossed all the cards up so where nobody could play because you were losing.
You are difficult to win or lose against. It really doesn't matter which way the game goes. It sucks to play because
Wait a minute.
whether or not Crystal wins or loses,
This is a lie.
you have to deal with her shit.
This is a lie.
So you're very competitive.
I
You're
lose
practically
very
Rose.
gracefully. I lose very gracefully. I do not throw a fit when I lose. It's just that when I win, I dominate.
So things like Mario Kart or shit you never really cared about in your soul to begin with.
Exactly.
That's different. It's not the same as spades, and I'm not
You
going...
can't talk about nobody.
That's fine. I'm standing up for my shit. I know I'm terrible.
Cannot.
I know that.
I mean, you get mad at me in Monopoly because, like, I won't sell properties to you so that you
Well,
can
that's
have
unreasonable. Don't nobody want to
not.
be playing motherfucking Monopoly for 7 months.
We ain't gonna be playing for 7 months because you finna lose because you're not getting no Monopolies.
You are unreasonable in Monopoly. You don't make any negotiations. You don't trade or sell anything.
All right, we're playing space on Sunday.
Fine.
We're playing. Okay.
I'm going to watch at least a few rounds that bitch before I go in because you're not the only one. I just don't trust niggas. I don't.
Oh,
So
all
that's
right.
that. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to y'all next week.
Bye, y'all.